sport. County of Kings, really the Kingsborough. You know Crown Heights, so you know that sound, right? Brooklyn Bridges, Z-Dub defended. The Brooklyn Block Party, clacks and double digits. Got the ball plays clicking, the whole block is with it. Left a lot on the table, now we coming to get it. The shook one's gone, we too Brooklyn strong. Can't stop, won't stop from the Brooklyn block. B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N. 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 B-R-O-O-K. We well. Okay, we well. Okay.
Wait, start over.
I'll edit it.
Big fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog. Let's go see Barkley.
Just give me the ball, I'm fitting the score next. My chair's all net, me and Jada just all next. Getting back on defense, hit him with strong flex. I'm official like a ref, trying not to get attacked. And we go hard on Brooklyn, that's a promise. Watch me like a Cam, cause it's my time. Make you watch me like a Cam, cause it's my time. Switch, they can't guard me, especially side the Barclays. It's been between crosses, I can score with both hands. Midi flawless, and I get to paint like an artist. I'm a boss smith, so you should respect my handle. I see the big picture with the Nets like a mantle. In the future, I see us as champs too. And when we do, I'ma do a Brooklyn dance move. To stir that or Millie rock like a fan do. And that's a bet like my parlay on FanDuel.
B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N. B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N. B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N.
When you establish a culture, that's what you do every day. That creates one thing, that it's your identity. Alright, that's how you are seen by other people. If you work really hard and get 1% better every day, you're a competitive group. That means that you fight.
Oh, what a move by Sharp, counted a foul.
Yeah, once again, this song. Listen, man, this big fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog. But I pulled up because I seen Cooper Flagg miss that game winner. Chicken winner. Chicken dinner. Yo. He had put some big numbers up tonight. I can't even lie to you. I fell asleep. I was trying to watch the game. I fell asleep. I had a long day. I woke up. Houston was up by 1. Crowd was in a frenzy. Madness, I tell you. Y'all already know what it is, man. Does this affect Cooper Flagg draft stock? What happens because of this, man? What happens? That other game was good too, man. Houston got some defense out there. Kurt the Flirt in the comments. He said that 10-footer would have been money for Thomas. Tough. What a game, man. What's your thoughts on the game, man? You know what? I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna go to Twitter, you know. Dylan from Nets Press, he's a Duke fan. Hopefully I can find him. Let him join the panel with us. LM, all of these guys that watch college basketball, try to get these guys on the panel. You know me, I'm just chilling, you know, I'm reporting y'all the news, just doing the work. You know, I ain't a college fan like that, but I'm here. Right? I'm here. Let's go to X. And see what's going on. What's up with what's happening over there? Let's go see what's going on. I was looking at my page. They only talking about college basketball, draft pick. You know what I'm saying? I'm just bringing it to you live. You feel me? Pull up and talk to you. I just want to walk with y'all. Oh, that's a bar from Cameron. I can't lie to you. I just want to walk with y'all. I don't want to rhyme. I just need to talk with y'all. I just need to walk with y'all. How you feel about me now? I need to talk with y'all. Where you at, Dylan? I gotta highlight Dylan. Uh-oh. Loving Aries 23 in the building. Mrs. The Realist said hello with 2 exclamation points. Uh-oh. Hello. We out here. I know your birthday gotta be coming soon. You an Aries. I know because Leaf birthday is soon. My dude birthday was yesterday. Well, 2 days now. Let's see what's going on Twitter. We're gonna get to the I had the title I misspelled miss. Final four recap, talk about those 2 games, Cooper Flagg, miss game winner, draft, PSL debates, and more. Alright, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait and see if the guys pull up. Uh-oh, they go Leaf right there. They go Leaf right there. Oh man. Word. Oh, word. It's just gonna be G Mackin in the chat like that. Oh, okay. Levinary said her birthday was in March. Okay. Alright. Copy that. Copy that. So Aries is in the March and April. Okay. Okay. Kind of like Gemini is for May and June. Alright. Alright. Yeah. Breezy know his zodiac signs. Uh-huh. You ain't know that? I'm about to do a zodiac. Let me stop. Alright, so what's going on? What's going on with the what's up? Oh, since Leaf in the chat, and I know he ain't gonna want me to help him, so I'm gonna just say this while he in the chat. I know Leaf don't want me to help him. You know what I'm saying? I'm fine, cowboy ball, but I wanna instigate it. I wanna stir the pot. I want it to happen. Huh? Yeah, I know what Cowboy Bob be at. Yeah, he be with Freezy in them. Yeah, I know who those guys are. Where he at? Where he at? Oh, I know where he at. He gonna just do that to Leaf? Nah. There you go. Yeah, where you at? Yeah, blowing his. Uh-huh. I should. I'm not even gonna do it. See, I could, but I'm not even gonna do it. I'm not gonna turn this to that. I'm not gonna do it. Even though I want to do it, but I'm not gonna do it. But Aries said Aries born on the 23rd is only in March. LOL. Copy. I, uh, I ain't know that. See, I don't know. I'll be pretending. I ain't know my zodiac. I just know my minds. You know what I'm saying? I don't be knowing everybody's and all that. Word. Loving Aries, you funny as hell for that. You blew up my whole spot. I was crying like I knew it. Zodiac signs. I don't be knowing that shit. Oh my goodness. I'm about to just throw the link in the chat. Cowboy Ball versus Leaf. I ain't gonna start it. PCL debates. We got more to do. Cooper Flagg missed the game winner. What is happening? I had changed the title. Let me get back to the. Oh man, there's so much happening. Cooper Flagg, he missed it. I woke up to Cooper Flagg getting the last shot of the game. Soft touch. Where you at? Kurt the Flirt said it. I ain't say it. I was, and yo, I gotta say this. This is what I was thinking when I was watching Cooper Flagg, because I seen the first half. When I watched Cooper Flagg, what I seen was the fact that he works very well with Malawa. I think Cooper Flagg likes playing with a big man. Like, he don't want to be the biggest guy on the court. He don't want to play with the center. He like a lot of pick and rolls with Malawa. If he could get a big man to run pick and roll with, I think that's what Cooper Flagg wants to do. He looks like a player that beneficial off of the pick and roll. He could knock down the three, so he could stretch the floor. So if y'all roll and double the guy in the paint, he could just easily, you know what I'm saying, knock down the three. I think that Cooper Flagg is a good player. And again, like, I haven't seen much of his game. What I did see was him do a reverse layup. I seen him do that. I seen him. That was the first half, and I seen him miss that game winner. I seen him do a few more. I seen him, you know what I mean, gritty getting in the first half, getting to the loose ball on the floor. You know what I'm saying, hustling. Gritty looking player, and I'm not gonna lie to you. When I seen that last play when Cooper Flagg had the ball, and I thought, you know what I mean, this was his opportunity to show why he number one, and this is what it's going to be. It looked like it was fitting to happen, and I ain't gonna lie, I thought he had a good shot off, but the defense was good on him. You know what I'm saying? He had good defense on him, but just me rooting for him, wanting him to knock down that shot, and him missing it and not going to the Final Four. I think it's interesting, man. I like college basketball, man. I'm starting to like college basketball more because it's like, almost it looked like it's a little more competitive than the NBA sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going front. You know what I'm saying? It was a good game, man. I seen Akeem Olajuwon at the game. He said, "I'm so proud of these guys, but I ain't gonna be long-winded, man." We got everything Brooklyn Nets John on the panel,
Hey,
People
Breeze.
Hernandez, and Mo Beasley on the panel. Shout out to Mo Beasley. I think he a Houston Rocket fan too. Um, yeah, man, we out here, man. Everything Brooklyn Nets John talk to us, man. You seen these Final Four games today?
Yeah, I definitely saw the Duke one, man. Definitely a shocker. I don't think anybody expected this is how Duke's season was going to end. But at the end, Houston just kept battling back, and Duke, just by slim margins, just took the pedal off the gas. But I think a lot of people should not look at that missed shot from Cooper and look at the whole season. One hell of a phenomenal freshman season for Cooper Flagg. Everything people thought he couldn't do, he showed he can do. He had good pieces around him. He made them all work consistently, and I think for him, this is even more motivating. He was right there from going to the championship, and I think this is just going to fuel Cooper Flagg even more to wherever he goes to, where he says, "I'm going to get back to that back there. I have unfinished business." So I think that's what him and the other guys like Walk and Conk Nichols feel as well. Unfinished
What you mean finished
business.
business? You mean finished business in NBA, right?
Yeah, NBA, man. If you think about it, this championship is almost like what finals could potentially be like. Imagine you're right there. You're in the Eastern Western Conference Finals, and you just lose to the team from going championship. I think this is going to make Cooper Flag even more focused wherever he goes, and it's just unfortunate this is the way it ended. But I think Cooper Flag should everybody why he's the number one pick. I think Walk tonight disappointing. I think he had 0 rebounds and like 14 however many minutes it was. That was disappointing, and I think it'll be interesting. If our pick is 6 through 8, I think there's going to be a real debate between Walk or Derek Queen. I mean, do you want the offensive Queen or do you want the defensive potential Walk? I think tonight it showed you why Walk is still a raw prospect in many ways, and that Queen could potentially be an option for the Nets if we draft around 6 through 8. I think Con Knipple is an underrated player. I think he's been decent a lot through this college season, but if we have him with the lottery pick, I don't know if Brooklyn fans going to like that too much. So but shout out to Duke. I think they had a great season. Just unfortunate the way it happened, but I definitely think now we can focus on the draft and see who's going to be selected on May 12th. I think it's going to be very interesting where Brooklyn's going to end up for sure.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. I thought it was interesting seeing that happen, and just great players that they might have put him in a circle with, like Jordan. I think he had a big game with North Carolina before he came to the NBA. But I'm not gonna be going with it. We're gonna go to Peoples, man. Peoples, did you see the game?
Nah, I didn't watch the game, but bad night for the Nets though. Pistons lost, Bucks won. I was watching that Bucks game and shit. They gave up that 7 point lead, man. It's not
That's
looking good. Like, they slide to like fourth seed now. I guess Bucks. No. Everybody else keep losing and shit. Like the tanking teams keep fucking losing. Sixers lost. They came back and then Ant-Man just hit a three and shit. That's crazy. And they got like a 2.5 game on us. Something like that. I don't know what's gonna happen. We'll see, man. We'll see in a lot of it. Bad night for the Nets though, but I didn't see that shit. I just seen you post that shit up. What's the name of Flagg? What choked and shit, or some shit like that on your stream. But that's the only thing I seen, man. You know, Nets world, man. Nets world.
I say Cooper Flag missed game with it. I gotta go spell miss the right way.
Or word.
Um,
So Florida Gators is Gators and whoever that beat the
yeah,
Duke and shit.
Peoples, that point guard on that team cooking.
Who that beat the Duke?
No, not Duke. The
Oh,
point
you talking
guard
about the
from
Gators?
Florida. Yeah, the Gators.
Oh yeah, you know the Gators. You know I lived in Daytona Beach, Florida, like 12 years. I went to the same high school with Vince Carter.
Okay.
So you know Gators, you know, big deal like Tim Tebow and the basketball when they won back-to-back championships. So I guess the Gators came back somehow, came back to the spotlight. That's crazy. But yeah, we'll see, man. I guess we just gotta lose out these rest of these games. We gotta lose out the rest of these games.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
tomorrow.
I wouldn't worry though. You know what I'm saying? I don't think
That's
we.
crazy though. You know, that's Breezy. Sixers, man. Sixers don't deserve it, man. That's crazy. I don't know what's gonna happen if they get the pick lower than us. That would be
Yeah,
crazy. That
yeah. Nah,
damn, Breezy.
don't trip, don't trip on that. They ain't really do nothing with their draft picks. The NBA, you know what I'm
Facts.
saying?
That's facts.
No, it'd be a good look if we get a better pick than them. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
We see what Jordy Fernandez is doing with late first rounders and second rounders matching he get. That's how I look at it too, people. So the NBA is like, wow, if he's doing that with late second rounders, like G League players and late first rounders, you know, giving the Brooklyn Nets a top 3 pick might be a good idea. So the NBA might be, you know, you might think it behooves the NBA to get the
Maybe we just gotta like I said, we just gotta
we
cross
never
our
look at
fingers
it
and
that way
shit.
though. Brooklyn Nets fans never really look at it that way. You know, they always
No,
think
we just
it's
gotta cross our
other
fingers. It
franchises
just
that be a better
Bucks
look.
just don't want to let it go, man. They just don't want to rest Giannis and shit, and they don't want to. I'm waiting for them to rest the starters and shit, but they don't want to give up because they want to get that fourth seed or whatever. That shit is crazy.
Nah,
Miami Heat was
nah.
right there, Breezy. Was right there, man. They
Yeah,
couldn't score because Tyler
you know,
Hero was out.
people, you know what the interesting news is? If Detroit is the first round opponent for the Knicks, I think the Knicks are going to have a lot of work on their hands. I think if the Bucks face the Knicks, I think the Knicks are going to kick their ass. But if the Pistons face the Knicks, I think it's going to be a very competitive first round matchup. So I don't kind of mind if the Bucks slip past them. Also, the Bucks pick is guaranteed now since they made the playoffs. So I think the Bucks pick is going to be around 17 or 18, no less than 20. But the Timberwolves have a 3-game advantage, and they face them this Tuesday. If the Timberwolves take care of business on Tuesday, that Bucks pick is likely to be 17 or 18. So don't worry about the Bucks pick, Hernandez. It's at a great spot right now for us.
Yeah,
I was hoping,
people get
for like
that. Hold
15,
on, but
John, for like 15
yeah,
pick. You know what I'm saying? 15,
yeah,
16, 15, 16. That's what I was hoping, but I don't know. They play in New Orleans back to back tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow night. So I mean, I guess today already. They're gonna play today,
no,
Breezy.
it's good.
So,
People's
Bucks, because I'm following the stinky fucking deer meat. I just call them deer meat.
people's
So I gotta try to get this pick. Trying to low as possible. I don't know, but they got like 4 games left.
People, trust
So
me, don't trip on that. The success that Jordy Fernandez got from the G League and with player development, any pick that we get, just trust it's going to be a good thing. We're going to move
I
around
think
the
I
camp.
think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
if he can motivate people who's like almost out of the NBA or whatever, or not supposed to be in the NBA. So we'll see what
Nah,
happens in
bro.
with the
That's
first
what
round
I'm.
picks.
No, what I'm saying is the Brooklyn Nets and the Long Island Nets. They got a system now where these players are really developing their game. It's a real thing that's happening, and they not almost out of the NBA. Or if anything, they getting contracts, full contracts. I won't go through the names. I don't want to be long winded, but we gonna
I
move
know what you
around the
mean.
panel. We gonna move around the panel.
Facts.
Shout
Fact. Good
shout to
looks.
Mo Beasley for joining the panel. What up, Mo Beasley? What's good, man?
What's going on, man? Salute Breezy, salute panel, man. Salute check? What's going on with it?
Chilling, man. You
Oh shit.
Houston? You like the Houston college team too?
Yeah, man. I follow all things Houston sports, man. And I'll be honest, man. It was a nail biter down the stretch. Cooper Flagg turned up in the second half. He had 8 points in the first half. In the second half, he just went on a tear. He's the number one overall pick. Yeah, he got it all, man. He's the number one overall pick. So, as far as Houston, man, that defense, just suffocating, and they were able to come back. And Cooper didn't hit the shot, so we on to play Florida, and hopefully we can pull it out Monday.
Yeah, Bill. But I just think it's interesting that again, because I don't watch college basketball, and I just really caught the last play of the game, and I tuned in. The crowd was going wild. The crowd was going wild, and it looked like really Houston got a chance. And when I seen Cooper Flag taking that last shot, I kind of was like, yo. If he knocked down this shot, this is legacy, man. But if he miss it, you know what I'm saying? This could build him too. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah,
interested to see where he would go
this
to, you know what I mean, put
this is
himself in a
basic.
situation
This
where he could be. And somebody on Twitter said they said that he like you were saying basically good, but he's not a clutch player yet. But that's yet. I think
well,
that's something he could develop. You think he
well,
can develop being a
yeah,
clutch player?
yeah, I think so. Man, he was in hostile territory, you know what I'm saying? San Antonio and Houston are a couple hours away from each other, man. So, it was kind of, Duke traveled very well, but that was mostly a home game, you know what I'm saying, for them,
Mhm.
for Houston, seeing that, everybody from Houston coming right to San Antonio. So, that kind of helped a little bit for him, I guess, as well. But yeah, I think he can develop to be a clutch player, man. He hit some good shots. I like how he relocated on a couple of jump shots, going to the basket, getting and ones, man. He got a nice package on offense as far as the bag goes.
Mhm. So what about the next game? How you think? How you feel about it? How you feel that y'all taking the
Uh,
whole thing?
of course I'm gonna say that, but Florida, man, they've been a tough team. They basically been the number
What's
one,
up with their
like.
point guard, Mo BC? He nice.
Oh yeah, LJ man, with LJ Cry man, him and Sharp man, Emmanuel Sharp, they're some shooters, man. We a lot, like we've always had the defense, but we never had the offense to kind of come along with it. And I think this kind of coming full circle. So that's kind of why you're seeing the best of both worlds. And what I'm saying, as far as with Houston being able to play defense, but also being able to, what I'm saying, keep that offense going.
Okay. So I
Uh,
mean that matchup between the guards. Do you think Houston win that matchup? Who got the better
it
backcourt, Houston or Florida?
uh man, because I think LJ Cry, we I'm gonna kind of say a wash. If I would probably go Houston as far as because the Houston backcourt, man, they can really shoot the basketball, but they also play good defense. So it's like, they not giving up, they're not slacking on either end of the floor. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a good matchup on both ends for both teams, man. I'm looking forward to the matchup.
All right, copy that, man. Shit. I'm glad you pulled up because I don't really know about Houston. I just know that, you know, I like the
Yeah,
underdog story. You know what I'm saying? But not to call them underdogs because they're number one seed. You feel what I'm
yeah,
saying? Respectfully.
yeah, man.
So, but and they say defense won championships. You think this was the story that was told tonight?
Yeah, as far as that go, yeah, I think so. With the IQ down the stretch, you know what I'm saying. Houston was able to, you know what I'm saying. They was able to overcome some turnovers, overcome some, you know what I'm saying, some bad possessions down the stretch, and was, you know what I'm saying, able to just come through with the win. But it's nothing like as far as the city of Houston go. We used to being doubted. So even when we doing good, we used to being doubted, man. So there ain't nothing new.
And so you saying y'all got the Houston Rockets, y'all the underdog, like y'all you coming from that perspective.
Yeah, man. They say we a 2 seed, but we more like the 7 seed, man. So you just got to win to get respect, man. That's all you got to do. We here.
So
I know
I
your Rockets won too many games though. That's not a good
so
look for that team.
hold
For
on.
that
So you
pick.
feel like
The
they
Rockets won too many
got the
games.
respect after beating Duke. I mean, Duke definitely was the favorite going into tonight's game, man. So
Well, I mean, at this point, if you don't give them the respect, then that says something about you as a person. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that goes without that goes without saying. So
That
you
means you're a
not.
hype beast.
Yeah, because basically, I'm not gonna say nobody, but it was very slim. Mostly everybody had Duke winning this game. So, mostly nobody thought Houston could win and pull this victory out like this. And even during when the game was going on, most of everybody kind of thought it was over going down the stretch. They thought Cooper was gonna seal the deal, and he wasn't able to. So, you
I
know,
wasn't, bro.
word, word. Shout to Bo Beasy, man. Yo, again, man, definitely pull up on the pit. You always welcome.
yeah,
Shout to people, shout to
yeah,
everything.
man.
Word, word.
Yeah, I just
Shout to
want appreciate y'all for contributing to our 50 wins. You know what I'm saying? It's always good doing business with you guys, man.
oh man, you funny as hell.
Nah,
It's gonna
not
take
not
more
not good.
Oh
defense
Good
than
man, I
good
was
making
going
you
job,
there.
man.
I
Y'all just
this
got
shit.
lucky because
Hold on. It's gonna take
y'all
and
just got lucky
on the
because not the team, it's the
listen
coach, man. It's the
on the
coach. Y'all
west
got that coach.
on the
It's not
west
the
coast
roster.
on
Trust
the
me,
west coast. I'm not gonna lie, y'all tough, but
not
y'all
the
got
roster.
bigger fish to fry. We in rebuild mode. Be
Oh
They
nah,
gonna
we
get
beating
ain't.
bounced out
beating
in the
us.
first round.
Hold on, I
They
don't
gonna get
think
bounced
beating
out in the
us
first
shifts
round.
the standards to the point where y'all got a lot. Do y'all got it locked? Do Houston got y'all standing spot locked?
With top four lock. You know what I'm saying? We ain't clinched the number 2 seed officially, but we're not going no lower than 4. So we guaranteed a home playoff game, and it feels good,
Okay.
man. Like you got to understand, man. Like most teams take 20 years. Some teams take 20 years to get back to the playoffs after rebuilding, man. Some teams rebuild after rebuild, and they still don't get it right, man. And to be in this position in 3.5, 4 years, man, it's a blessing.
all
Okay.
because
All
of
right.
Brooklyn.
But no,
All
we
because of the
listen. Hold
Nets.
on,
All
Mo
because it
Beasley.
ain't supposed to be the Nets coach. We
Hold on.
thought it's supposed to be the Nets coach. Yeah, I just got lucky. That's all.
I definitely want to go back to Mo Beasley, but I want to go around the panel because, in a nutshell, that's our story. We try, as the Nets fans, honestly, I think we always discuss how long it's going to take us to be back in contention, and we wonder what that process looked like, and starting from this season forward. Now, but again, man, I don't want to be long-winded. We're gonna go around the panel. I'm gonna try to get back to Mo Beasley tonight, for sure. We're gonna go to Scott. Scott, talk to us, man. Did you watch the Final Four? Scott, you there, Scott? All right, we're gonna come back to Scott. We're gonna go to LBL for life. Go Cougars. I think that's what it say. Shout to LBL for life. One, what's good, man?
Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, yeah, I watched the games and I think what you were trying to say to Mo Beasley is probably something that Pod Thorne had posted. He didn't say that Cooper wasn't clutch. What he said was he wasn't a closer. So that's
Oh, he not a
there's a little bit
closer. Okay.
there's a little bit of a difference.
So
It
okay, let
means
me ask you this though. So who you
he's
think the
the
ball should have
person
went to
that plays the game.
in that last play?
Huh?
Who's the better closer on that team if it's not him?
No, I don't think he was saying that he should have went anywhere else. He just said he hasn't developed that part of his game yet, to be the go-to closer guy, that's the guy that you go to right then. He's the best on Duke for sure. But
Okay.
I think that's what he was saying. He hasn't developed that yet. He's not a closer. He's more of a connector. He's a guy that does everything else, that
Yeah, I see him.
that
I see him
him.
like to dump. I see him like to dump it off to the big man. I see like
Yeah.
that pick and roll, and we don't really have that, or we do. Do y'all want Cooper Flagg passing and dumping, running pick and rolls for Claxton?
I mean,
Y'all want
no, not
somebody
the
else?
Claxton.
I mean, if you want to rebuild Claxton's value, I guess that could help. But I mean, you need
But
somebody
yeah,
that can pass the ball, flops to him.
I kind of want LBL to finish with the thing with Mo Beasley and the Houston Rockets and build it in 3.5 years. Like, how do you feel about that? Because you had a whole idea of us getting 2 draft picks back to back, kind of like the Celtics,
Oh yeah, I did want.
etc. So,
I
like,
did
what
want
do you
the
think? You think 3.5 seasons, like the Rockets? You think that's what the trajectory of the Brooklyn Nets right now?
Well, it may not be that now because of this messing around that Sean Marks and Jordy did, and I think if
Yeah.
John, who's probably following me on Twitter, he knows that I've been saying lately that, um, um, which sounds blasphemous to Big Fan Breezy, but I'm saying that Jordy got
What?
to share in this a little bit
I've been waiting for this one.
because he got to share in this a little bit because it's not always about just winning the games. You know what I'm saying? It's winning the war. So you can win your little battles and beat these teams that are tanking and everything, but and then make some guys who
Sweep
are
the Rockets. Sweep the Rockets. Don't forget that.
yeah. But I'm saying some of the it's like that doesn't make
Doesn't amount
our
to
team
anything
better
at the
in
end
the
of the
future.
day
That doesn't make our team better in the
That's what we've
future.
been saying, Mo Beasley.
because you traded for your picks for a reason. And the fact that
Exactly.
Phoenix is at 10,
So that's
11,
what
and you
I'm
guys
saying.
at 6,
We should have committed more. We should have committed more to the tank, and that's what I'm saying. So that even if we don't end up, like we're gonna be probably top 6, but we really needed to be top 3. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say because the cutoff point is probably after the top 3 or 4 picks. Then it gets a little bit more dicey in terms of who's going to be better. So when you want that franchise type guy like a Cooper Flag or like a Dylan Harper, then you have to go all the way in, and we didn't. So that's what I was saying, in terms of
Yeah,
that.
I feel you, but listen, the reason why I wasn't, you know what I mean, picking up what you was putting down is because, bro, the teams that got worse records than us, they ain't do nothing with their draft picks, and they got way more draft picks within the Brooklyn Nets, especially the 76ers. The NBA should say they shouldn't be in our that. Hold on, they shouldn't be in our way. The Pelicans, they got AD and Drew Holiday on the same team. Drew Holiday got a championship. AD got a championship. They was both on the Pelicans. They didn't win the championship. Why would the NBA? Why should the NBA? They just had Brandon Ingram and now they got Zion and now they back in tank mode. Both of these teams continue to suck the NBA dry of draft picks. It's disgusting.
yo,
And not winning no fun, not getting to the final conference finals or a championship in the NBA. Again, the Charlotte Hornets, same for them. When they always in rebuild mode. Same thing for the Washington Wizards. They always in rebuild mode. Utah Jazz, since when the last time they've been, since Donovan Mitchell and Rudy
Well, let me
Gobert.
say this.
No,
Nah,
nobody want to
bro.
be in those
The
cities.
Brooklyn
Nobody.
Nets. What I'm saying is, don't tell me that those teams that I just mentioned should get a 1 through 3 pick before the Brooklyn Nets for the
Well, let
very
me say
reason.
this. Let me say this. When you really look at our roster and you look at our record now, did Brooklyn deserve? Did the Brooklyn fans? Did we deserve this freaking crappy ass team? Hell no. And I'm saying
Bro, it's
because
not
of
crap.
that.
I'm not
No,
calling
I'm
it a
saying,
crappy
but because
team,
of that, I'm saying you should have been got
especially for
rid
the
of.
Rocket
You
fans.
should have been got rid of Cam Johnson. You should have been got rid of DFS. You should have been
Bro, but
got
what's your
rid of and all
bro? We
that.
got 25 wins, bro. We had 32 wins at the end of the season last season. We got 25 wins.
So we
I don't
can't even
think.
make it to 30 something,
Did
right?
you hear what Zach Lowe said, LBL? He said that they couldn't even tank right. Did you hear what Zach Lowe
That's
said on The
what
Ringer?
that's the,
I watched
but
that. It
I'm
was good
saying.
episode.
But
Bro,
our
stop
fans
trying to
would have
add fuel
embraced
to the
the tank.
fire, John. That shit don't make no sense, bro.
No,
We got
it does make
20,
sense because,
bro.
Breezy, you
No,
heard what
it
Zach Lowe
don't.
said, though,
It
right?
does make
Bro, we
sense
had
when you look
25. Are
at
we gonna get 32 wins? Are we gonna
let's
get
look at
30?
it this way.
Are we
Breezy,
gonna
it's
get
not about
30
the
wins this
wins.
season?
Breezy, you
Yes,
think
it
we care about the
is.
wins?
Why?
It's not
No, no,
about the
no.
wins this
Hold on,
season.
no,
It's
no,
the
no, 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 no. Why?
process.
No,
No, no.
listen,
Why that's
Listen.
tanking, not about the wins.
But listen to
It's
this.
about player development, Breeze. You're not playing the
Hold on,
vets
guys.
35 minutes a night. We wait till 10 games to finally start
You
getting
trying to-
Maxwell Lewis
you
and these
got
guys actual burn. That's not
Bro,
tanking.
I don't see how John and LBL can
Breezy.
sit there and say
Breezy,
that when
we
we got
talking
4
about-
G League contracts last season, bro.
I'm
I don't
saying we
get it.
talking
This
about the
season.
Sixers.
You know what?
All the haters.
We
You'll
talking
see when we
about
get
the
to top
Sixers,
three,
right?
all the
Hold on,
haters.
let me talk to hold on, people. John, let me talk to LBL.
Haters.
LBL, the only player that didn't develop is Tariq Whitehead. But besides that,
That's not true. That's not true.
Bro, hold on.
Clowney has gotten worse. Come on, he hasn't gotten better.
Bro, he got injured.
I'm not saying he wasn't injured, but what I'm saying is,
no, but don't
if you
say
were
he
the
got worse. He got
76ers,
injured and
listen,
he tried to get
if you
back
were the
more minutes.
76ers, if you were the 76ers GM and you made that trade where you said, "Oh, I'm gonna lose," I mean, I'm giving you our pick unless it's top 6, and then freaking Embiid goes out injured, there's no way you would be fired as a GM if you didn't finish in the bottom 6. Because they
Sixers a
had
bitch.
to get that pick in this draft. That makes sense. If they would have said, "Well, nah, come on, let's just try to keep on winning and let's get number 10," they just, the GM would have deserved to get fired because it's like, yo, you ain't got Embiid.
But they are the top. They are the bottom 6.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say. If they would have finished 8 or something, the GM would have been fired. Because remember, they only get a top 6 pick if they finish in the bottom 6. If they don't, that pick goes to someone else.
Though.
Exactly. It's
What
not
do you mean it's not guaranteed? No, that was guaranteed by the trade.
It's a starting point.
Y'all trying to play the numbers too close, like Luck ain't got
It's a
something to
starting
do with
point.
it. If Luck
It's a
ain't got
starting
nothing to
point.
do with it, Atlanta don't get that pick last year.
I mean,
I'm not stressing like y'all. I'm not doing
Well,
that.
we have the 6 odds, Breeze. In the last 6 years, it's been 6 through 9. So either the NBA steps in and bails us out, or that's where we're drawing. So
You gotta break that, John.
that's
You
what
gotta
Y'all
break
trying to
that
figure that
that
out
60.
and all that. I'm not doing that. We gonna
Not-
get a pick for the reasons I said. And even I'm not saying y'all wrong, but for what I said, I'm not wrong neither. Those are not my opinions. Those are facts. Those teams that got more draft picks that's got a worse record this season under us did not make it to the finals with the draft picks that they had with them. And I don't care about us trading our draft picks away. I'm saying they had the draft picks. Again, emphasis on the players that they had on their team, went to other teams and won an NBA championship. And again, when you think about St. Drew Holiday and AD, I think y'all missing that part. For them to be on the team and not win the championship, why keep going to them, bro?
Toronto got a ring, right?
No.
Breeze, you mean to tell me y'all can't find 2 gems in this draft with those 4 draft picks?
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
we
of
can.
course.
I know we can. I don't know why they. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you this: it would be a lot easier if it was top 3.
Gonna be better than Rockets.
Breezy, you made valid points that some of these teams have already been down the draft process, haven't done
Baby
jack
steps.
doodly squat with them. I agree with you 100 million%, but you look at where we are with the 6 odds. Mathematically, the pick is supposed to be 6 through 9, but it will only change this year if the NBA feels that Joe Desai's done enough financially and economically to warrant Brooklyn getting a pick. I think that's a little ludicrous that that's the only way we get a top pick, but at the end of the day, this is what the organization did. They didn't do the process right, so now they're banking on the NBA to bail them out. That's what it feels like to me, Breeze. That's the only way I could see us getting a top 3 pick is if the NBA comes in and interludes. Because you can't argue with the statistical odds where that pick is right now.
Would you guys be mad if y'all ended up with Maluwa?
I'm torn between him and Queen right now. I think there's an honest debate that Queen offensively is better than Maluwa, even though Maluwa's better defensively.
He didn't have
so I think
no
there's a real
rebounds
debate with
today,
that
man.
pick.
That's crazy. He didn't have any
Yeah.
rebounds, I don't think, man. That's wild.
Yeah,
I'm surprised. I didn't
I'm
expect
not
that.
gonna lie. For a big man that had rebounds, that's crazy work. Hold on, we're gonna go to Joey, but that shit hurt my
But
neck.
that's a testament to Houston's defense, man.
Nah. In a championship game,
But
I
he's
don't care
18 years
about how
old.
good
He's a
whoever
target.
defense it is. If you be that tall, you played on the Sudan team, and we can't rely on you, the biggest guy on the floor, on our team at least, to get rebounds, that shit hurt the team, bro.
Man, Houston, man, Houston, they big. I don't even want to say it, but yeah, they yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but hold on. Let's go to Joey BK all
They
day, man. Yo,
withdraw.
Joey BK, you
They
there?
went out there like
Yo, what's
Joey,
good? Can you
add
hear
fuel
me?
to the fire, bro.
I wasn't finna say no
Can
pause
you hear me,
shit.
Breeze?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's the
Just wanted
network.
to just wanted to talk about the college basketball, man. Listen, I am not surprised about tonight.
no.
I am listen, I'm a St. John's fan, but I've been like watching Houston throughout the year, and to me, they've been the best basketball team in college basketball on both ends of the floor. They are tough, they're gritty. To me, they have the best college basketball coach in the game. Like, dude is a beast, bro. Like, listen, Houston is going to win it all. Tonight does not surprise me. I am not a hype beast. I
Well,
actually
I
look
don't
at the
know.
games. I don't care about the big team names like Duke and North Carolina and all of that. Listen, I look at these kids that are tenacious, that are gritty, that are not afraid to play basketball, and that is this Houston Cougar team, and they're going to win it all.
That's right. Parade on Cullen Boulevard, baby.
Watch the Gators spank that.
Now, with
Watch the Gators spank that.
I'm gonna just land the plane because y'all took the whip off the road and start talking about the Nets, comparing them to the Houston Rockets. I do think that
We're
our
not
time.
comparing them. They're Rockets.
No,
Let him finish. Let
I
him
understand,
finish. Let
bro.
him finish. Let him
I'm talking.
finish.
I get it. They're comparing the timeline. I understand. Now, I will say that I kind of see us, fitting that timeline as far as our rebuild being about 3 years. I mean, come on, man. Like, yeah, shit is not looking up for the team, but let's not act like we don't have some promising pieces still in Brooklyn. Let's not act like we still don't have cap space. Let's not act like we still don't have draft picks. Like, stop it. Y'all sitting here acting like we don't got shit to work with. It's easy to see this team turned around in 3 years. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to
Thank you.
happen.
Thank
I'm
you.
not going to say it's going to happen, but to act like it's impossible to happen is egregious. And you're overreacting, bro.
That's
Thank you.
facts.
Like,
Thank
chill
you.
out.
Depends on what the plan is, Joey. Is it
No,
plan
thank
A,
you.
B,
No,
C,
no,
D,
no.
or F or
They
G? Like,
got
what's
it.
the
They got
ultimate
it.
plan here, though?
They
They
got
have
it,
the
Joey.
assets, but it seems like they don't even know what to do with the assets. And that's what
They
a lot of
got it.
Brooklyn fans are worried
I
about
just
right
think I
now.
just think a lot of guys are impatient. Let it fucking pan out.
I'm gonna tell you like
Everybody,
this.
everybody saying that
They got it already, man.
because we might not get a top 5 pick. Who's to say that the guy we pick might not be the steal in the draft? You don't know that. Let this
Y'all
shit
need
pan out, man.
find y'all
Like,
Tari
yeah.
and find y'all Alp Shingun, man. I'm telling you, that's gonna accelerate y'all rebuild, man, because that's what
We
accelerated
need
our
we need
rebuild.
better guys than that. We
That
need
might
better
be
guys
No,
Derek
than
But
King.
yeah,
no,
Over
I'm saying, but I'm not saying those players like that. But I'm saying the impact that they bring. Y'all need those type of impact players in the middle rounds because that's what those. But that Bucks pick, that Knicks pick, y'all gotta hit those. Y'all got to hit those.
yeah,
No, I
it's there.
disagree. I think you gotta hit. I think we gotta hit on the early pick more than we gotta hit those. I think those is the cherry on the top. But we
Yeah,
have to hit on that top 10 pick. That is a must. That pick
I
gotta get
mean,
like
I
that
say
pick.
I'm sorry. I say that because to be honest, it looks from the looks of it, bro. If y'all get the top 10 picks from these drafts coming up, those are going to be shoe ins. Those guys should be instant impact players if everything hits right. So that's why I'm
Exactly.
putting more emphasis on the later pick, the other picks, because from the looks
True.
of it, the picks from the top is going to be impact players off the
But
rip. That's
but
no
but
question.
but here's why I say this. I feel like you can waste a pick in the later first round. You cannot waste a pick having a top 10 pick.
You
You
can't
gotta
have that
hit that, man.
mentality.
Yeah, that's
You
for
you
sure.
can't you can't have that mentality.
You
It's
can't have
okay to
that
No,
have
kind of
that, but you
thinking.
can't have that mentality if you want to have a 3-year rebuild,
no,
man.
I get what you said. Look, if it was up to me, I feel like we should hit on every pick. You feel what I'm
Right,
saying? You want to hit
right,
on every pick,
right.
obviously. But what I'm saying is, once you get the pick from the creme de la creme, which is the top 10 in the lottery, I feel you have to be like, yo, this is the best player available right now that will make an immediate impact on our franchise.
That's
Well,
all we need to win that lottery,
you can
man.
get that. You can get that in the middle round.
You can, but
To get
it's
Nibble.
more of a gamble. You feel what
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying?
it's a
That's why
gamble, no matter how you look
yeah,
at it.
I get it. It's more of a gamble no matter how you look at it. The lottery is a gamble. Everybody knows that. I mean,
Right.
picking in the draft is a
Because
gamble.
I don't see necessarily that anybody in the first top 10 necessarily got to be impact players.
Well, no, it's not. It's a few of them do in that top 10.
It might be. It might be.
Scott,
It might be.
We talked
It
about
might
it.
be.
When you get picked in the top 10, you get picked. When you're a top 10 player, you get paid differently.
Yeah,
you know
but
why? Because you're expected to make a different type of impact when you get in the league.
But that's no guarantee,
Right.
though. It's no
I'm just telling you. You know the
I
saying.
understand what
Pay
you're
like
saying.
you
They
weigh.
get paid different, but
They get paid different for a reason, Scott.
yeah, but
As long as we don't draft another
sometimes money
Patrick
is
Williams.
not, you know.
As long as we don't
You
draft
know what I'm
somebody like that.
saying? Money is necessarily not the good thing for some people.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. But what
you know what I'm saying? You give somebody all that
I
money,
feel
and they
what you're
might think
saying,
they
but-
the shit, and they ain't the shit.
But we keeping it basketball. I just really, I think that I think that some people are panicking. But if I'm from the outside
that's what I
looking in,
think.
I would just take my time. I would see what they're looking at and just go from there. Y'all got the setup. The setup is there for you guys to make
And you're welcome
shake
for
it
those
back.
free assets, Bill Breezy. Those Suns picks, man. Use
Oh
them
no, y'all,
wisely. Use them
y'all welcome for
wisely.
that Dallas pick. That Dallas pick's gonna be real
I
nice.
can't believe we gave that to you. Why do we give you a pick that was literally a free lottery pick to you guys? I still can't get my head around that one.
Brings
That's
this up.
crazy.
I mean, Breezy always brings this up, and I'm going to reiterate this. We got a young, talented, hungry coach. So
we got enough picks, man.
Listen, we got the assets for the trajectory. Will it happen?
And y'all in the
We just
East.
gotta wait and see.
It's not
We
like
need that
y'all in the
top 3
West.
pick, though. We need that top 3
Hey,
pick.
remember when John Moran said the West was easy, Mo Breezy? Don't say about the East, man. Wait till you say that shit, man.
It's not like y'all in the West, man. Y'all in the East. Y'all,
Rockets gonna freak out. First round exit. Watch.
Wait, what?
Man.
First round.
Wait, who
Hey
the
man,
Rockets lined up to
Hey,
face?
look, keep moving that goalpost, man. I done heard it all. I ain't mad at you.
I'm not moving the goalpost. I know that.
No,
Y'all don't have
I'm
no
saying because
offense.
I'm
Y'all
looking
can't
at it
score
like
enough.
this. No, nobody
Y'all
thought
can't
we
score.
would be 6 seed. Nobody. I didn't think we would be 2 seed. So
No,
everybody's gonna keep moving the
I know because
goalpost.
of the Udoka. Because of the
And
Udoka, y'all
now,
went
now
too many.
they're gonna say we're gonna
That's not
lose
a
in the
good look
first
for
round.
my Nets.
That's not even a
That's
dig.
not a good look
That's
for
not
my
even a
Nets.
dig at Houston.
That's not a dig.
If they get
Because
put out in the
No,
first round,
Houston
who
got a good
cares? Because they
chance.
already overachieved. Who gives a shit? Nobody expected them to go to no chip or no Western Conference Finals. You feel what I'm saying? Like they on the right trajectory. Okay,
they playing
they
good
made
ball
the
right now.
playoffs
But
and they top
nah,
6 in the West.
I don't know. 48 games. That's bananas, boy.
And your team's in a great position to make a trade for a star this summer. The Rockets are where they should be right now.
yeah,
I definitely
exactly.
think your team's making a big move this
No,
summer.
but
I can see
as
that.
far as
They
the
playing
Nets, man,
good.
y'all be good, man, because y'all in the East, and it ain't like y'all gonna have to go through a gauntlet to try to get in the play in. You know what I'm saying? And when you get in the play in and win that, you can get anywhere. Anything can happen from that point. You know, you might see the Celtics or the Cavs, but hey.
Exactly. I agree. I think
The
the East
Celtics are getting very expensive. They're gonna have to start breaking down some of their pieces. That
Luke
dynasty
Cornett,
is not gonna be around forever. No,
Luke Cornett won't be there.
Porzingis and Drew Holiday. I keep hearing their names that they could be trade pieces if the Celtics have to get under the luxury eventually because
Well, they
Brown
can't.
and
They can't
Tatum are making
continue
almost
to
$1
pay
billion.
everybody forever. They can't continue to pay
Exactly, and they
everybody
have new
forever.
ownership. So I think the Celtics in 2 or 3 years might be a lot weaker
Oh
than
yeah,
they look
they
right
done.
now.
That's why.
Listen,
That's why I said the East is wide open, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
The Nets just got
the
to
Celtics,
focus on getting
Man,
better.
if Nets
hold on, real
don't get
quick.
the number 1 pick,
Wait, let Joyce be. Let Joyce.
Let me just land the plane real quick, peoples. Once the Celtics are out of the way, the East is open. It's fair game. Once they on the decline, it's fair game.
I don't know, man.
Really have no team that you're gonna say is like dominant in the East after the Celtics
I
decline.
think if the Nets don't get the number 1 pick, man, they're gonna try to put a super team together. Watch, they're gonna do it again.
You talk about Plan A.
They're gonna put a super team. They're gonna if they don't get the number 1 or number 2, like Dylan Harper or whatever, let's just say number 3. If they get like a number 5 pick or number 6 pick, watch they go on another route. John.
So, people, let me
I just want to see us get. I just want to see us get through
They're not
draft
trying to
night.
stand around and wait.
Is it for sure shoe-in that the number 1 pick or the number 2 pick or the number 3 pick is going to hit, and the number 6 pick ain't? Where are you getting this from?
I just got that feeling, man, because Nets always gonna keep trying.
I know where
always gonna keep trying to get the chip.
I know where he's
to get the chip.
The other guys are higher floor. They have higher ceilings.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
He's
If you don't get the
barely
number one pick,
still in
it's gonna
top.
hurt you.
LBO, you know what's interesting, LBL?
That's Cooper. But
LBL, you know what's interesting? Some people are saying that the reason Brooklyn Nets won a lot this year is because half the league was tanking this year, and I really do agree with them. I think the Nets found a lot of landmines. Some teams purposely put out their worst products against us. Instead of trying to get worse, we kind of just took those wins where we could. I think that is probably what played a hand
So the
in this
wins,
game at
so the
6
wins in
odds.
the beginning of the season didn't mean nothing
Well, some teams don't try too hard in the beginning. You got to
because
remember
they
that
sure
too.
enough put it on a couple of teams.
Listen, I think the problem was Marks kept the vets longer than he had to, and now you deal with the consequences on May 12th. If we get a top 3
God,
pick, the NBA bails you out. If not, you can't argue with mathematics where the pick is at
God.
right now with
When
the
we
6
talked
odds.
when we talked
Yeah.
about this earlier in the year, we talked about how many wins would the Nets get. A lot of you guys, some guys said the Nets would get 30 something wins. Some guys said we would be right where we're at, like around 25 wins.
man, I was thinking
Some
like
some
17, man. That's
some guys
crazy.
said
No,
around
Like
20. Bro,
17,
God,
man.
with
I
that
said
being
around
said,
20
like
something
Breezy said, bro, we're at 25 wins.
with 4G
Like,
League players.
damn.
That's
The
too.
way
That's too many games, though. Yeah, we
It's
did win
not
too many
about
games.
it's
I'm
not
not gonna
about
lie.
the wins. It's about the placement. It's not about the wins.
Right. Good point, LBL. Good mention.
Losing, we should have been losing more too.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is just like John said, we wasn't going to be able to out tank some of these niggas anyway.
Not
Yeah.
Utah,
Like the
Washington
We
Pelicans.
for
I
could
mean,
shit
have.
show.
like the Wizards or
Collision
Jazz.
clause.
God
Yeah, we
damn,
could
man.
have.
Yeah.
They
Maybe
That's
not
because
NBA
they didn't
teams.
commit to it, Joey. I think a lot of people are saying the Nets didn't
maybe
commit to
Bro,
it, so that's on them
listen,
at that point.
John, listen. I think we're right where we're at. I think we should be bottom 5. The only reason we're not bottom 5 is because of shitty ass Philly. They
Yeah,
weren't
Philly.
supposed to be here.
and
I
even
hope
Yeah,
they're
They're
gonna
not
take
supposed to
away
be
their
here right now.
draft pick,
They ain't
man.
even
I'll
I
tell
trying.
hope
you
they get
this:
that
if
pick.
that pick conveys to OKC on draft night before our name is called, I know we're at least in top 5. If that pick goes to OKC,
And they
so
Okay,
could
let
I'm
me
that
not
say
will
gonna
this.
be a
easily
lie.
get the
domino to
6th pick.
watch for
Let me
sure.
say
That's gonna
this,
be a
guys.
nightmare for
Listen,
me.
listen, if
Philly is not supposed to
Cam
be
Thomas
here.
was our top player and we lost him for most of the season, how come we don't have more losses? Just like the way that the Hornets and the Pelicans and all the rest of them, we should have just tanked. We said, "Oh,
That was February,
That's a
LB.
bad
Remember the
take.
month of February? We
That's a
won a
bad
lot in
take. That's a bad
February.
take.
That's why.
Yeah,
Here's
but
why
because
that's a bad
Dennis
take.
Schroeder
we
went
we
crazy.
hadn't built
Here's
up."
why that's a bad take. Because listen, I like Cam Thomas, but Cam Thomas alone is not carrying these scrubs, bro.
Nah,
And
he's
winning,
not doing
he's
that.
not.
Know that
Nah,
too.
Like,
But
stop
what I'm
it.
nah.
saying is, what I'm saying is that was Jordy's job. Yo, lose these games and develop some people. And I'm
That's
not
not Jordy's DNA, though. That's the thing, LBL. We've learned
We
this.
got like a
if it's not
7
his
more
DNA,
wins
then you
than
need to
we're supposed to
fire him.
have. Like 7
So
more
okay,
wins.
so guys, listen. The
I
only two
don't know.
teams that we should be below is Philly and New Orleans. New Orleans ain't supposed to be here either. I don't
But
know
that's what
how
I'm
they're.
saying. But that's what I'm
They
saying.
got hurt though. A lot of their players got
Disgusting.
hurt. Ingram was hurt
Disgusting
most of the
Pelicans.
season.
Before.
DeJounte out for the season, and Zion was hurt most of the beginning of the season as well.
I
And
feel like
they're in
they
the
did that shit
West.
on
So
purpose. It doesn't matter the injuries. I feel like the Pelicans wanted to get the number 1 pick. They was like, yo, let's
Joey, we
shut
were
this shit
once
down.
tied with the Hornets for fourth
Let's shut
odds, and
this
then we
shit
went
down.
on that winning streak. That was the crazy thing. We were actually right in that spot, but then we started winning. That was a problem. The fluctuation was a lot this year,
You
more
talking
than
about
it
that
should have
7
been.
out of 8, John? That 7 out of 8 game? We fucked it up though. Yeah, we fucked it up right
We were like tied with the Hornets before we faced them in that one game where they
there.
put out a crappy ass team and we beat them, and then we started winning a lot more
we
after
won
that.
the
I
championship.
think I
Yo,
think the
yo,
Nets
if the
didn't
Nets
think.
get the number 1 pick, it would be the sweetest
I
revenge,
think
man.
That
Sean
would
It would
be
be
Marks
the sweetest revenge.
I
wild.
think he underestimated Dennis Schroeder's impact and Jordy
Cause he went
impact.
crazy, man.
Yeah,
Cause he's
but
not
you know
doing
what
that shit
else?
with the Pistons. He's doing
You know,
he went crazy like 30 points and shit. Who the fuck would think
At this
that
point,
Schroeder
Marks
could
isn't a
put 30
leader.
points?
He's just a
look,
passenger, Joey. I think we could all see this with Marks. He's way too passive because
even
he's
if
been
we get
walked over by
Cooper,
stars and role players and now coaches.
hold up,
That's a
John.
problem.
Even if we get Cooper Flagg, we need to be tanking next year.
Facts.
That's a
If they
fact.
get the number 1 pick, they're gonna tank. If they don't get the number 1 pick, I feel like they're gonna go another route, that
But we
17
still
route.
need to tank. We still need to tank because
This was supposed to LBL. I agree. This was supposed to be a 2-year tank job. I
So
feel
you're
like
gonna
we were
tank next
supposed to.
year for 1 pick?
We were supposed
yeah.
to
Have
be.
you seen Darren Peterson?
Yeah, I seen him.
So that's
Only
what I'm.
problem is, LBL, with the way this team is going, I don't even know if that's even a reality next year. We only have 1 pick next year. So
Oh,
So
if we
you're
keep
gonna
if we do
tank a
this, I
whole
don't think that's going to
season.
work.
Oh, see,
for a
John,
lottery pick
John,
that you might not get.
you're saying it's not a reality when it's in our wheelhouse. We have control over how many games we win.
So you don't care
We did this year, and look
about
what happened, Opie. I
the
didn't see no
development of
control
other
over it.
players on the team.
I'm sorry, say that again, Scott.
I'm saying you wouldn't care about the development of players on the team.
No, what I'm saying is I think that if we get Cooper Flagg, we could still develop him while we're losing. That's what
I don't think you need. I think y'all put too much emphasis on the draft pick. I really do.
And you know what?
I really believe y'all do.
We
Put-
gotta,
Well,
we just
Scott,
gotta
there's
move
no
Cam
direction,
Johnson and
Scott, unless you
Franklin.
want Plan
No,
A.
I'm just
Put
saying.
stuff
I
on it.
think y'all put too much emphasis on top 3 picks.
And
Yeah, but Scott, this is the
I get
CBA
it. I
right
get
now.
where y'all coming from.
We need to use the draft somehow
Yes,
from the
I
CBA,
understand that.
Scott.
I
That's
understand
what it
that. You
is.
can always.
we're not
There's
the
people that they're literally number 1 draft picks being traded,
all I'm saying is
and y'all want to tank a season.
you have Mo Beasley on here, right?
I'm saying you want to give up a whole season.
Scott, I don't know what the heck this team's going to do this summer, Scott. I want to get through the summer and see where we're at by the end of July.
Hold
If
on.
I
we
don't know what this
draft
team wants
Derek
to do in
Queen, I
summer.
mean, I guess everybody
John,
would be happy, right, with
Oh,
Derek
man.
Queen.
look
Everybody would be happy with
the
Derek Queen, though. If it's
roster.
not
I mean,
top 3.
Look at how many
it don't matter because if you selling tickets
look at how many.
and you're not paying anybody, it's good for business.
No, what I'm
It
saying.
ain't good for the fans.
good for
It ain't good for it ain't good for your organization as far as
Scott,
how it developed players.
what's good for business is we selling out games even as we're tanking.
I know that's what I
Exactly.
said.
Matter.
I keep
As
telling
long as
people
you
that.
selling
Listen,
tickets, it's
this
good.
is New York City. New York
But
is like
but what I'm
basketball.
saying is, look at that Rockets roster. Look at how many of them dudes was top 10 picks.
Yeah, until they got a coach and the organization went the right way.
No, but that's
Exactly.
what. No, I'm saying, but
Yes,
they got.
yes.
I'm
The
saying,
organization did the right pull the right moves. They
you
kept
gotta
their
get
players. They
You gotta
kept their
get
players.
I'm just saying, look at Memphis, right? Look at Memphis, right? They got a lot of their picks. You know, the Ja, the JJJ, right? They
Yeah.
got Bane. They got all of them guys. They were lottery picks. And I'm
Correct.
Yeah. But
and
look
they
what they did to their coach.
right. And Taylor Hicks is a decent coach. He's a good coach. But what I'm
That
saying,
must have been something going on behind scenes.
I mean, yeah, whatever happened behind the scenes, happened.
Right. And that's why they not winning.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, they had a foundation because you need foundational talent, and that's
Yeah,
what I'm.
you need talent. You need your coach too.
But you don't need the coach before you need the talent. That's what I'm trying to.
LBL,
Oh,
why
okay.
do you think we
All
can't
right.
get that foundation?
Yeah,
We
but I'm
can't get
saying
that
you can always
foundation
get
unless we picking
talent
in the top 3.
if your GM is got the picks.
What I'm trying to say.
They don't have to be top first picks though.
But
We got
And you don't
Sean
have to
Marks,
tank
though,
a
Scott. That's
season.
the problem.
we know Popovich is a great coach, right?
Yeah.
But they were still willing to freaking go in the tank even with Popovich, and then it's
Yes,
like, okay,
that's true.
our
But they
coach.
were never going to let him go.
No, but what I'm trying to say is, all we had to do is, we don't judge Jordy. We don't judge Jordy on how many games he wins or loses.
I mean, we don't. Maybe me and you.
Talking about we don't. We're in tank mode. That's what I'm trying to say. When we're in tank mode,
Yeah, but
that's what I'm saying. People up here saying like he's the best thing since sliced bread because he won 10 more games than they thought he would. And I'm saying we weren't supposed to win those games. That would have showed me you're a great coach.
I don't think it's that. I think it's that people see the difference with him coaching and they see his in the game adjustments. They see his subs. They see him. He has a good feel for the game. He likes to develop and teach. I don't think it has anything to do with them really basing Jordy's performance of how much wins he gets this season. They just tell the difference in him coaching compared to what we've had the last 2 or 3 coaches.
Yeah, because and you know why? Because the bar is so freaking low. And that's not saying anything against Jordy. I'm saying the bar is so freaking low because freaking Steve Nash was clueless.
I wish we could have kept Jacques Fraud one more year, man.
I'm surprised we even have a team considering the hell we've been put through the last 3 years.
Like, guarantee Jordy,
it's
John,
wild.
guarantee him a job, just Tell him.
I mean, do you guys understand what happened to the Brooklyn Nets with that big three is something that's never happened before in the NBA? Like, the fact we even have a team, assets at all, it's a miracle in itself. But this organization needs to wake the hell up and stop making the same damn mistakes. They got to start thinking about long-term outlook a little bit here, because I feel like what they want to do is they want to draft a prospect, go after a star, and combine that together and hopefully become something. That's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like they want to go one way or the other. They just want to combine it because that sells. That's a potential problem.
Here's
But
the thing.
it's
We had remember when we had the billboard up of Durant and stuff, and it was like across the street from Madison Square Garden and all that.
Yeah.
That stuff.
What's up?
That stuff is never gonna work because this is a New York Knicks
Oh, my
town.
bad.
So that doesn't matter. But I'm saying in size mind, that's what matters. But in Nets fans' minds, we just want to beat them. We want to have a better record. We want to have more playoff success. We want to do better than them. So
I don't know. Watch us win the championship before
I
that.
don't give a
I
shit
don't pay
about the Knicks.
attention to that.
I'm a
But that's
Knicks
what
fan. I don't care
I
about
just
the
want a
or
better team.
or you don't care about the Knicks at all. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't care about the
So
Knicks.
so
what
but
they
that's
do.
what I'm trying to say. Is
We
like
hate them.
No, I
but
don't
that's
hate them, but I don't.
I
Yeah,
hate them.
I don't hate them. I don't hate 'em. Good
But
luck.
that's what I'm trying to say. When we want to
bro.
get
Go
somewhere,
ahead, touch it.
so I'm gonna say this: when Breezy is talking about, who deserves what or how can the NBA do this, what I'm trying to say is
Man, touch it.
these teams are doing their due diligence to lose on purpose. Like Philadelphia, they already knew their trade said we get to keep our pick if it's 1 through 6 bottom.
Right, that's what they're pushing for.
So and like I'm saying, if they didn't do that once Embiid went out, that GM should be fired. And then when New
See, that's
Orleans,
just my body.
when New Orleans, when New Orleans lost all of
That's
those
how my
guys,
body is. It's like that.
I can't wait till they give up that pick to the Thunder, man.
yo, that
It's gonna be.
Tyrese
Because I'm
Maxey
like,
injury
hey,
is such
It's gonna be the
BS,
best
man.
shit ever.
I never see a dude with a finger injury that's not even bent or broke or anything, and it's been injured for 2 months, man.
No,
That's
we know
crazy.
Philly
It's
That shit
lies,
wild.
John.
is
It's all
wicked.
lies.
We know the GM
You might
is
be
going to
right.
do whatever
Right
it
here, right?
takes. His word is not bond,
yeah, and yeah,
and he's going to do whatever it
I'm
takes
gonna ask the
to get
doctor.
what he wants.
but now New Orleans, once they could have actually won, even if Zion missed the whole season. But once they missed those other guys like Ingram and then the rest of them, and then the rest of them, CJ and the
Right.
two forwards, they said, man, let's pack it in. Let's
But
just
what they don't understand is when the balls are being spent in that chamber, they have more balls in there at the 5 spot. It can pop up at 8.
I hope so.
It can
I
pop
really
up at
hope
8,
so, man.
9, 10.
That's true.
but what I'm saying is,
And then
but
all this that you
know what?
did is
But
for naught.
but Scott, if they end up with an 8 pick and we end up with a 4 pick, right?
Right.
Now, I'm just saying, say this.
It's possible.
Going into next season, who got a better squad?
I mean, you can't really judge it until
No,
you
I'm saying
see.
they do. They still have more talent than us. That's what I'm saying.
I think they're going to have issues.
No,
But they're still never
Philly
going to win the
gonna have
championship,
issues.
though. Never
This
gonna win the championship.
is the interesting thing. Utah now
Philly's
has the
gonna have
worst
issues.
record possible, and they were looked at as a team that could get Cooper. If they have the worst record, they're not guaranteed number 1. So
But
that where Cooper Flagg goes becomes way more interesting right now.
but John, who has more talent right now, Utah or us?
They do because they have younger players developed, and Washington,
I don't know if
Washington
you
too.
can say that.
We
I
don't have
mean,
no Laurie Markkinen. Come on.
I mean,
But they're pretty bad, though. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, Scott, you saw with Portland, Washington, those games we lost. I mean, at the end of the day, yes, they were winning in February, but against teams with younger talent who, yes, have bad records, they still kicked our butts.
Utah had a squad and couldn't go nowhere. They had a squad.
You talking about with Darren Williams?
No, with homeboy from Cleveland. What's his name?
You know about Rudy and Mitchell? Now, Mitchell was a one-man army. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Mitchell was a one-man army, and Old Gobert was always playing some defense. Mitchell was a one-man army.
Let me ask Abiel a question. You said Utah got all this talent, right? Who else they got besides Laurie Markkinen, bro? Because the only other player that I think is even half as good on there is Sexton, and that's it.
Nah,
Yeah,
that
that's
point guard,
it.
that
They
rookie
got
point
who
guard
else
is not
they
bad.
got?
Most
They
of the
kind of
guys
hit
on
on
our
that. They
squad
hit
too.
on that point guard.
Bro, they don't got more talent than us, LBO. Stop.
Yeah, they
got
do. Walker
one
Kessler's
guy in Laurie
than any of
Markkinen
our
who's probably
centers.
more talented than every guy on our squad, but they
Nah.
don't have more depth and talent than us. They don't.
But then nobody wants to be in the
do.
Mormon city though. Nobody want to be there. Trust me.
You name
No,
one
nobody.
guy. You name Laurie Markkinen. Who else do they have?
I said Kessler.
Kessler's been.
Kessler
Better,
is so.
he's better
Oh
than
my
our
god.
dudes, man.
Oh my god. Kessler is so.
Pretty
Bro,
bad.
to be honest
Kessler
with you,
Edwards. I don't know what's the hype
LBO,
about
to
that
be
guy.
honest with you, is a toss up between
Not
Kessler
Kessler
and Clapp.
Edwards, Walker Kessler.
Walker
It's a
Kessler.
toss
He's
up.
alright.
Kessler, yeah.
It's a
I mean, I think LBL should rephrase it, but I think what I was trying to say is that Danny Ainge did a great job making all these draft deals he's been making. I mean, the Rudy Gobert haul looks really good. The haul they got from Mitchell's looking good.
No,
Like,
Danny
they
Ainge
put
is demon
themselves in
though.
a good
Yeah, you're right
position.
though, John.
He
He's a
said
demon.
that currently
That guy.
Utah
The
has more
question I
talent than the
asked.
Brooklyn Nets, and they do not.
They
The
have
question I
assets
asked
to
is,
potentially do
Kessler
do
something.
you actually see generational talent coming out of this draft for you to tank like this?
Besides
Cooper
Cooper
Flagg,
Flagg.
Dylan Harper,
Flagg? For real?
maybe
For
eight.
real?
Yep.
It's
Nah,
Scott.
probably just
It's Scott.
Flagg.
Scott.
I
Look
mean,
at
for
what Flagg
real?
did this year. Come
He
on.
remind. You know what? You know the last time I seen generational talent come out of the draft?
When? LeBron?
You got that right.
Oh
You
man,
got that right.
there's only one LeBron
It
though.
was guaranteed. That was a guarantee.
Well, I would say, teenage wise, you're probably right. But
I
then
know because in
but
high
then
school
you'd have,
he was ready.
but then you'd have to say Luca was right.
Hey.
We didn't get to see him. We didn't get to see him, but he came in right away and was doing work. Right.
Hey, Claude Smith,
Right away.
Claude
There's
Smith, what have the Knicks
nobody in this
accomplished?
draft.
Yo,
I put
look-
my life
No.
on
Hold on, let me ask
that
Claude
I would
Smith.
say
Let
gonna
me
do
ask
that.
Claude Smith a question in the comments. You talk about the Nets can't hold a candle to the Knicks when it comes to fame because they haven't accomplished half of what the Nets. What the Knicks have. What have the Knicks accomplished?
Man, they're gonna get bounced out in the second round, man. This shit is a joke.
They've sold tickets
That
and
shit's a
put
fucking
celebrities
joke,
on the
yo.
jumbotron, man.
Everybody knows
Not the
that. Everybody.
extent. Not the
They
extent.
do a
They're going to do
parade.
that
They
regardless.
do a parade, Claude. They do a parade for making the playoffs a couple of years because they ain't going like forever, bro. What have they accomplished? Claude?
Cavs and Celtics
Claude,
are gonna spank that.
Claude,
I tell you what
Thank
they
that. Why?
accomplished.
listen, hold on, Claude. I
They
get
got
that
rid
you're
of their
old,
future.
right? Hold on, Claude. I get that you're old and you probably did see them win a championship. But my friend, the last time they won a championship was over 50 years old.
Man, that shit is hot garbage.
Claude, it
The
was
whole
19
brand, the
Claude,
orange and blue, that
Claude,
shit's
it was
disgusting.
1973, the
That
last
shit's
time the Knicks
disgusting.
won a
I
championship.
thought it was so
Yeah,
ironic
I
that
know.
Bridges was the first guy to complain about Thibs
I was a little
playing
kid
players
when
so
they
many
won.
minutes when Bridges cared so much about that Iron Man streak. But now he's saying, "Oh, I want the bench to play some minutes while I get a breather." What bench? There's no bench on that team.
Nah, they're regular season average team beaters. That's
No,
who they
this
are.
man said
They're average team beaters, and
the
then they
Nets
can't beat the
can't.
top teams.
The
I'm
Nets
They're like
can't
telling
0
hold.
and 12, John. They're like
people,
0
I'm
and
telling
12.
you, if
Claude,
Detroit is their first round, there's gonna be work put
Claude,
on
you're
there.
bragging about
That's gonna be
Yeah,
a fun
Detroit
first
gonna be a
round.
that were
problem.
over
Yeah.
50 years old, Claude.
Yo,
That is
that shit is
half a
trash.
century.
Oh, it's
That
Claude
is a
Smith.
half a
I
century.
buried him in the fucking YouTube in the comments, man. I know who you talking about. That's the guy who was making the comments, man.
Bro, yeah.
Tell him that shit is
I ain't
trash,
gonna
man.
hold you. Listen, if my team won a championship over 50 years ago, I wouldn't still be bragging about it, bro. All right, that's nasty work. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah,
That's nasty.
yeah. It's been a long time.
If the Pistons beat them in that first
Bro,
round,
listen, let me tell you how long it is.
man,
Listen,
that Bridges Hall is looking like
tell my
a
age,
dynasty
right?
fortunes
I'm
right
gonna tell
there.
my age. I'm
They're
44
like
years
the
old.
Red Sox without breaking the curse.
Hold on, guys.
Without breaking the curse.
I'm 44 years old, right? My dad was a kid when the Knicks won a championship, and I'm 44 years old. So, yeah.
Yo, did you guys hear what OG Anunoby said? Did you hear what OG Anunoby said? He should be the defensive player of the year. Dude, you were 0-9 against the top teams, dude. Your
0
defense
and
did
10,
crap.
0 and 11, I think now.
Yeah, he said I'm the defensive player of the year. No, dude, you're making $40 million. That's it.
No, but
Yo, you making
honestly,
$40 million,
the Knicks
yo.
are
That's
doing what
crazy.
they
That
need
is
to do.
crazy, though.
They win all.
I mean, I'm hearing they saying Draymond should. It's a good case for Draymond to be defensive.
Draymond's been good this year, man. Did you see his defense against Giannis in one of those games recently, man?
Yeah.
Draymond was closing him. Like, Giannis going to do Jack Dilly squat against him. Even
I don't know.
He's
Draymond
tough
was
guy
still
though.
playing good
I can't
defense.
take that away from him though. He's a tough guy though. That's
He
He's
crazy.
is
always
tough.
coming up
Very
here
tough.
with that Knicks shit. If you are such a Knicks fan, why you keep coming on this net stream?
I
He
don't.
loved that shit, yo. And then the BC guy, he loved the fakers and shit. He got the fakers troll.
You know
Who
what?
be
Player one said some real shit. I hope the Knicks do match up with Detroit because I think Detroit got a good chance of knocking them out in the first round.
But
I personally,
also, Joey, a few months ago on these same spots, on these same podcasts, people were saying we were better than Detroit. Remember that?
who said that?
I don't
Oh,
Wait,
know who
what?
said that.
am I lying?
No
I
Oh
don't
way.
know about
man,
that.
Ain't
I gotta
nobody
go
Am
said
back
I?
to
that
my
bullshit.
memory bank about that one.
Nah, they were saying we better than
they don't
Detroit.
even have Jaden Ivey right now.
You
That's
know
I
what,
crazy.
people?
understand. I
You know what
understand,
it
and
was,
that's when
That's
we went.
crazy.
You know what it is? You know what it is, LBO? People are bandwagoners and hype beasts, right? Because they seen Detroit be bad for so long that they wasn't really paying attention to the league and they didn't realize that they were really decent this year
Oh yeah, they
until it
played
was
good.
too
They were
late.
playing good
And it
ball all
snuck up
year.
on them, right? And they was like, damn, Detroit is not
And
that
they didn't
bad.
see. And before this year, they didn't see that the lottery picks that they took
Exactly,
were
LBO. They didn't see the
foundational
talent
pieces.
they acquired. You know
Like
what
like
changed it around? You know what changed it around for them? When they got Bickerstaff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That
that's
coach.
but
if it's
also
not
That
Bickerstaff, they'd be
coach.
like 15 games below 500 right now.
That
but hold
coach.
on.
He
Also,
shouldn't have got fired where he came from.
but also
Yeah.
Jody, but also Joey, what I'm saying is there were people in the beginning of the season that were saying Claxton was as good or better than Duran. And I was
Hell
like,
no.
No,
fuck
Who
no.
said
Claxton.
yo,
that?
Duran
Who said
whooped
that?
it,
Listen,
man.
That's it.
LBL,
Yo, you
Wow.
should go to jail, man.
this is
Say
because
shit like that.
they don't pay attention to the actual current landscape of the NBA, right? They don't pay attention to what's going on. They just look at the record from the last couple of years. That's all they look at. You know what I
LBL, you
mean?
know why they
That's
said that, LBL? Because they wanted us to be in the play-in. There was some people who believed we should be in the play-in this year. I'm like, what are you talking about? We have our own lottery picks back, and we're gonna be in the play-in to draw 10? Like, come on.
I
Like,
mean,
that's why
listen,
this whole season's been so
if you looked
weird.
at Detroit, you knew that they had the talent. They had top draft picks for the last few years. They just needed to have a coach to put it all together, and they needed time to gel.
Right. And they got some
that's what
veterans, Malik Beasley, Tim
Yo,
Hardaway.
Malik Beasley just went
And
crazy from 3-point line this season. That's
Too.
why.
You know
That's
the crazy is Harris has
he
played
went
well this
crazy.
year, but he's mostly been a bust most of his career,
Nah,
man. Like,
Beasley,
that's the
that's the
crazy
guy.
thing.
That's
well,
the
he's
guy
too
for
You
them.
know
young.
what it
He's
is,
too
John?
young to
He's
be a
not a
bust.
bust. He's
He's,
just not worth
yeah,
the contract he's getting.
yeah.
Yeah, he's like
Not a
Ben
bad
Simmons'
player.
cousin, man. He gets $40
I
million to drop
I
9 points in the
hold on. I
playoffs.
remember at one time Nets fans was hoping we would get Tobias Harris.
Oh
Whoa,
hell
who
no.
said that? Who said
Oh
that? I
hell
want to
no.
know
No,
Who
who
said
listen.
said
that?
that.
Before
Get out of here.
listen,
I remember
I'm
that.
telling you,
Who
before
said
Who
Tobias
that?
said
Harris,
that?
listen,
When
before
Kenny
Tobias
was
Harris
here.
went to Philly,
Yep, when
and
Kenny was here.
yes, when Kenny
They
was here,
had
you
that Long
remember, right,
Island
LBL?
connection. They
Yes.
had that Long Island connection.
Yes,
That's
and
wild.
Tobias was looking like one of the top prospects who might break out. We
And you
wasn't saying
see,
like
he's okay to be on Detroit because he is a good teammate. He is somebody, we know he was only doing cardio in Philly, but on that, he's more important to that Detroit team than the Philly actually recognize.
this is what I
But
think it is, right?
you should still go to
I know
jail
that
though for that
Tobias
contract.
Harris is
You should still go to
he's
jail.
not a third option, right? He's not a second option. He's damn sure not a first. I still think he's a solid starter in his league, though,
Yeah,
for sure. Like he's not.
and he's a vet.
People be calling him ass only because of the contract he getting. He's
Yeah,
not worth the money, but he's still a very good basketball player.
yeah.
Yeah, he's not bad though. I guess like 13 points a game or something, 13, 14. It's not
Nah,
bad.
but hey, you saying not bad now? He's older now, but he's averaged as much as 18 a game.
Oh yeah, like with the Sixers and shit, right? Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know who he was with before that. I think,
he
or
was with
the Sixers
Orlando, I
drafted
believe.
him.
Who was he with before the Sixers?
I don't
I
know.
think
I think he
Orlando.
came to the Sixers.
Orlando.
Oh
Was it
yeah, with the
Orlando?
Magic.
I don't think he was with Orlando.
Yo, nobody. I never remember him with the Magic. Yo, I swear to
Who,
God, I
Yeah, I
never.
don't think he.
Tobias?
I swear, yo, who drafted him? I don't. Who know? That's
I
the
think
guy,
he
like
was
a
with
mystery or
Orlando.
some shit. Nobody in the panel knows who he got
Man.
drafted by. He do got that weird name too, though. It's like a Cornelius.
Tobias.
All I know is he
Got that weird
bankrupt
name.
Philly, man. They threw a lot of bread at him, man, and he just
Yes,
took it, man.
because John, they was banking on him taking that step to be a third option,
Bro,
to be
they
a
chose him
solidified.
over Jimmy Butler, man. You're talking about one of the worst decisions in sports history, man. You
But
you could
John,
have had Jimmy with
now
Joel
here's the
Embiid, man.
thing. Here's
That
the
would be
thing,
way better
though.
than Tobias
We
Harris,
saying that
man.
in hindsight, right? But this goes back to the logic I was telling you guys. Jimmy caused a lot of problems when he was in Philly. If you look at Jimmy's history, he causes problems everywhere he
everywhere.
go. So granted, yes, he was talented, but dude, you can't have a guy like that in a locker room that's sitting there trying to embarrass the coach in front of the team, fucking doing all this erratic bullshit. So with that being said, as talented as you are, if you're not a coaching fit, they will get rid of you and pick
Didn't
the
he call?
guy
Didn't he call?
and
Didn't he
pick the
call
guy that's less
cat
talented and
pussycat
give
or
them
some
more
shit?
money.
He called him
Yo,
pussycat. Was the
Philly's a mess.
Timberwolves?
You know about what team should get a top pick? It's them, man. We don't know if Embiid's going to continue his career. Paul George, he's at the end of his career, man. That guy's like a
Yeah, I think
broken down
Embiid is
actor.
done, John. I think he's done. I think
Yikes.
something is wrong. I think it doesn't matter the surgery. I think
Listen,
he's
He
never
got
going to be the same.
arthroscopic surgery, so he should
guys,
be.
Yeah,
They said he should be back in
no,
six
no. I'm
six
saying he's
months or
never going to
something.
be the
They said.
same because he just
That's
look
I agree
weird,
with you,
man. You
peoples.
seen him on the
Peoples,
court?
I
He
agree.
just,
I think the Philadelphia Sixers are on one leg right now,
I think
and I
they're
think
done. Yeah, I think
they're
they're done.
banking. Listen, guys, they're banking to hit in this draft. That's how down bad they are.
Yep.
They are done, bro. If this
Yo,
shit
they're
don't
doing the
work, it's
disgusting
over
tanking
for
though.
them.
I'm not gonna lie.
Because
Yo, that shit
listen,
is nasty.
their only hope is getting somebody good and young to pair with Maxey. Because, like you said, peoples and B don't got that much time left, and poor George fell off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
Paul
he's gonna be
George
like
is done.
70% of Joel, right? That's what I feel like when he come back. Watch.
He's
I
done.
think
Paul
something
George
happened
is
with that with
done.
his
He's gonna
body.
give it up.
I think
I
Embiid's
think
asking out
it's
soon.
almost done.
Apparently, him and the front office had a lot of
I don't
tough
Yeah,
understand.
conversations
that
before he had the
organization is
surgery.
done,
But
man.
what's
They
the
want him to play through that. That's
but what
crazy. That organization is dangerous, man. Their medical staff people, I don't
Yeah.
trust you, man. They seem
No,
like
this is
pretty,
where
but
big
what's
people.
making him playing?
what's the guy's name? Big Ops brought up a good point in that debate. If you guys was watching the debate, Breezy played for us when he was debating this guy. Listen, and B brought this shit on himself a little bit this season because nobody told him to play on Team
Playing the limit?
USA when he knew
Yeah,
he already had health problems.
that's what
You
I'm
knew
saying.
you
And
knew you had health problems.
how did the team not stop him from playing? I wouldn't let him play.
Did you hear what
Exactly.
Marcus Morris said on NBA? He said, like, basically nobody holds Joel Embiid accountable in that Philly team. He kind of opened up Pandora's box
Yeah, because
recently about all that.
why would you let a guy who couldn't finish out your season play in the Olympics?
Play
That doesn't make sense.
exactly, LBL. Exactly.
That doesn't make sense. It's not like they needed him to win a gold.
It is not like it's your no disrespect, but this ain't even your country. Like this is not where you was born at.
I understand.
Sixers fans
So
be
what I'm
killing them in
saying
the
is
spaces though. They be killing the Sixers, bro.
he was goal chasing. Like he was
Yeah.
like like it wasn't that serious, dude. You should have just sat out, got healthy for your team, and balled out this year for your Sixers.
Man,
He is a large person though, so he's I don't know.
Daryl
Maybe
Morey
that's
not
why.
paying Harden his money, man. That's what ended for them, man. Because Harden took a pay cut the year before to help them make other moves, and then when it came time to get his money, Morey's like, "I got no money for
Because
you." Like,
hey,
that
but
is
don't
I don't know. They was
hold on,
savage.
hold on,
smart though,
hold
That
John,
on.
was
because
But
James
savage.
Harden never
but
gonna
we
get
gotta
you
we gotta
nothing.
bring context to it though. Harden was looking low key washed at the time.
Yeah, that's
He was
facts.
he
Good,
was still one of the
but he
best
was
players on the team, and look what he's done with the
true, but
Clippers
he
this
was
year.
looking low key washed in Philly at the time when it was time for those contract negotiations. Maury was like, "Damn, I think I want to take it back on some Indian giving type shit." Like, yeah, I wanted to give you the contract, but bro, you're not looking the same, and this shit not working with you and Joel. So,
Y'all
I'm a,
remember that? Y'all remember that game, right? Was it in Sacramento when he scored 4 points? He never
Yeah, I
gonna be
remember
welcome in
that.
the Nets. He never
That was
gonna
a
be
sad
welcome with the
day.
Nets fans, yo.
That was a
not
You
only
know
sad
that
that,
day.
he's always gonna
John.
be enemy.
Look, not
Always,
even that.
just because what he did, yo.
Let's
Just
talk
because what
about
he
his
did.
Philly. Let's talk about what he did in the playoffs with Philly. He stunk
That's
it up.
disgusting. I know he's never gonna win. That guy is never gonna win a chip, man. It's not good enough.
Well,
So
He
remember
he
gotta play
did.
defense. He gotta
the
do other
first
shit.
year they had DeAndre Jordan as his center, man. Everybody was just focused on DeAndre Jordan. That was it, man. Like it was pretty easy to take him out when Embiid was injured, and that best line of defense was DeAndre Jordan. That second year, I'll give it to you. Both the Celtics, man, just had their number. And that game 7, man, they just died on the court. The 76ers, like the Celtics just ran through them in
Because
that
he's not that guy,
game.
John. James Harden's not that guy, man. he needs like another superstar or maybe two superstars.
Exactly. Facts.
He
And
needs
that's
like
why
two superstars.
but people's, that's why he came to Brooklyn, because he wanted to ride Kyrie's and KD's coattail to a championship. He did not come to Brooklyn to be all in and to be carrying the load.
Well,
That's why when shit got That's why when shit got rough, he bailed.
You know, with that Kyrie thing
He
though,
bailed
I
for
feel like that
Kyrie,
was
Joe.
Kyrie
Let's
shit
remember what
though.
it was, man. Kyrie was like the dysfunction
That's
king
what
of
I'm
the
saying.
whole.
Like when he did
Oh,
that, when he
man.
did that shit, you remember he was
but
like, "I'm gonna
Harden
give him
had
a
a
shot
shot.
Here's the
myself."
thing. Hold up,
You know, I
John.
give him,
Here's
I
the
give
thing.
him a
He's still getting,
vaccine.
regardless of what Kyrie's doing, right? I don't agree with what Kyrie did, and I kind of see where he's coming from. But regardless of what Kyrie's doing, you're a grown man. You're a professional basketball player getting a huge salary. Strap up and go play basketball.
Yo,
And
that's crazy. He makes like $40
Sean
million,
Marks and Joe decided
yo.
should have stepped in and said, James, nobody's buying this fake injury stick you're trying to pull again. Kyrie's going to be back in 2 weeks. You, Katie, and James are going to play against Boston and win. But instead, they caved into demands. If they would have kept that core together, regardless if James walks that year, we still would have had a team that could have went
It
far.
goes back to my point, John. He didn't want to help Kyrie. So when he saw Kyrie sitting out, it pissed him off, and he felt he was going to have to carry more of the load. So he's like, "Fuck that, I'm out." And he pivoted to Philly.
That was like that was like the most down time for
He
the
had a
real Nets
shot.
fans though.
He
That
had
was
a
the
shot to. He
4
had a shot
points.
to make
4 points. We're never gonna forgive that shit though.
And
No
then we
matter what.
pivoted to 0
Never gonna
point
forgive that shit.
Simmons. We
I'm
pivoted
telling
to
you,
Yeah.
0 point
So,
Simmons.
Harden had a
for
shot.
real, I think
Oh.
the Nets and the Philadelphia Sixers made their situations worse. Like you said, we pivoted to 0 point Simmons, and then they pivoted from James Harden to Pandemic P. So it kind of like it spiraled, bro.
Here's a good question, Joey. Would you have done that deal for Jaylen Brown and Derek White if they presented you that on the table as GM? Would you have taken that deal for KD?
I tell you what, if I could have got a for sure answer from Jaylen Brown that he was re-signing, I absolutely do that deal. But that's the only caveat. Jaylen Brown was up for a contract, and you don't know if he was going to walk or not. He could have just left in
Damn, that you talking about the report with Deshaun Marks? Oh my God, John.
Yeah, but that was on.
Oh
No,
my
you talking about the one with
God,
Joe
yo.
Desai with the AI technology thing, which deals with some personal
Oh,
shit like
yo, what would have
that?
had Jalen
But John,
Brown and
that
like
was
Cam
reported
Thomas
back
in the
then because
backcourt?
Boston was one of the teams that
What
KD
the
had on his list.
I don't think Brown would have hated a financial security more than Joe Desai. That's why I'm kind of like a little leery there. I don't
But
even know
here's
if
the
that's
thing, though.
how
I
true all
still
that
kind of
is.
find it kind of worry about that because Jaylen Brown was never really a fan of Joe Tsai based off of him butting heads with Kyrie, and we all know Jaylen Brown and Kyrie are really tight. So to say that you're going to bring a player here who
They be on that
isn't
woke
really
shit.
too keen on your owner.
See, that's the problem,
They were
Joey. Sean and
outside.
Joe have such baggage with stars and all these people. It's like if we had proper ownership and management, I think everybody look at a Brooklyn in a
John,
completely different light.
I
That's the problem.
can't put that all on them, John. Kyrie gotta take accountability for some of that blame. I can't.
That's facts.
John. Listen. I agree. They fucked up a couple times, but at the end of the day, a lot of their shit was reactionary based off of what Kyrie was doing. I'm sorry, that's just my
but
opinion.
then they reacted again, Bridges and Johnson. They thought Bridges was going to be that third piece, that Drew Holiday we talked about, to bring in a superstar when that was never going to happen. And Bridges like, I never want to be here, but my buddy Johnson gets $90 million. Like, they were still in disbelief of what happened. They thought they could reassemble as quickly, and that wasn't going to happen. Another huge problem.
John, it was over at that time, John. KD already told the Nets, and they both agreed. I read this. They both agreed, KD and the Nets, like, listen, it's not working out. It's time to pivot. KD was ready to leave, bro. He wasn't trying to stay. He already in the offseason, he wanted to go to the Suns. They reeled him back in and told him, like, look, just play through the season. Shit imploded again in the season. He's like, okay, let's revisit that. Like what I told you in the offseason, I want to go to the Suns. And that's where he went, bro.
Yeah, that situation got screwed up. Bradley Beal at one point yesterday, man.
I don't know. I
back
give
to their
one thing.
face.
I give one thing to the Nets, though, John. I give one thing to the Nets. If a player don't want to play for the Nets be like, okay, we'll let you go. Besides KD, when they did that,
that was
we got the draft capital. That's not a problem.
One more year shit.
My problem is this organization's communication style doesn't seem to translate with players, and that's why the relationships kind of go bad very quickly. I think that's got to change because if we can't get actual commitment from anybody, how are we ever going to have a team?
Outside.
That's a problem.
One thing we gave away these superstars.
I think you
for
putting
like
it
a
all
for
up.
like the lowest, right? For like a lowest value, John. We
I
gave
think you
away
put it. I
Kyrie.
think
We
you putting
gave
it all
that
on
was
John.
crazy. That was
I think
crazy
you
though.
being unfair, John. Because here's the thing. Here's what I'm gonna say.
We only had
Everybody that
Dorian
played for the
Finney-Smith and the
Nets,
other guy. That's imagine
everybody that
that.
played for the Nets have always spoke highly of them and said this was a Class A organization. Everybody that played for us, we always did good business with them. We got them paid. We sent them
Yep.
where they wanted to go. Besides Kyrie, because
Yo, the
Yeah,
Nets the only
that
team.
backfired. The one time they
listen,
didn't do something, the guy wanted back for the guy was in a finals
listen.
appearance a year
Bro,
later.
he's the most
Yo, the
electric
Beside
Nets,
guy.
Kyrie.
Nets the
So
only
listen.
team. Yo, if you play for the Nets, man, they send like soon as you come to the Nets. No other team do
You
that. Soon
can't.
as you play for the Nets, they send like the whole family flowers and all the gifts and all that shit. You know that, right?
So I
For the
can't
players,
say that,
family
John.
members.
I
That's
can't sit
the
here and
Nets do that.
say
Nobody else do that,
I
man.
can't
People
sit
want to
here
be
and
here.
say
Trust me.
I'm not going to run with this Twitter narrative that the Nets players in the NBA hate the Nets organization and they look at them as some
No, they come
idiots and
here.
that you
They'll
don't
come.
like or they hate it
They'll
playing for.
come.
I'm calling bullshit because when D'Lo got back here, he was a very happy man. He said he enjoyed his time here. Spencer said he enjoyed his time here. Karen said he enjoyed his time here. Rose said he enjoyed his time here. Everybody got paid. Everybody went where they wanted to go, besides Kyrie, because Kyrie caused fucking problems when he was here.
That's
Right. But
fact.
the thing is,
But
this
Kyrie and
we
James,
want a
they're
structure and
ungrateful. They're
sustainability.
ungrateful, man, for
The
playing for the
problem is,
Nets.
if you go back to 2013 when we moved to Brooklyn, from then till 2025, every year the roster's been turned over. The sustainability factor hasn't been there, and that's my whole thing. If we're ever going to be a serious team, sustainability is a must. Whether you go down a star route or a young route, you want to have guys together for the next 2 to 3 to 4 years to see if you actually build
I
and
think
take chemistry. But every time they start building something, everybody wants to run for the hills. That's a
okay. Here's
problem.
the
And that's why
thing.
you got to hold the
Here's the
front
thing.
office a little
I know
accountable
you
here because
hate
they're
Sean
not
Marks, right?
leading the right
Listen,
way with that.
I know you hate Sean Marks, but let's bring some
No,
context
it's
to the
not about
situation.
hate. It's about
No, okay.
accountability.
Let me say you don't like him, but let's bring some context to the situation. When Sean Marks got this job, this franchise was beyond fucked based off of what fucking Billy did. We had no draft picks. We had no top rated talent in the building, right? We
Damn.
built
Can
that
I?
up.
Can
Listen,
I?
Sean Marks found motherfuckers in the YMCA, scraped a
Yeah,
couple of
yeah.
motherfuckers off
Joe
the G
Harris,
League in the streets and made something out
Hamilton.
of nothing. And we had a fun team who overplayed or who
Overachieved.
overachieved, right? Cool. After they overachieved, shit start looking up, and you know what? We got a little bit of cap space, right? Okay, who says he wants to play for the Nets? Oh shit, one of the best
Kyrie.
players
Yeah.
in the league called Kyrie Irving said, "Hey, I'm up for free agency. I want to go to Brooklyn." So you obviously think the Nets are going to say, "No, Kyrie, don't come to Brooklyn." And then Kyrie saying, "Hey, I'm not only I'm gonna come to Brooklyn, my friend KD wants to come and play with me too." Who the fuck is saying no to that, bro?
Yo,
So
Nobody.
but
yes,
I'm saying
Yeah,
if the Nets
DeAndre
no,
come,
Jordan
they
didn't
would
say
no,
never,
no because
never
he
okay,
got
sign him.
paid
okay.
40 million.
Nobody.
They would have
DeAndre
never
Jordan
signed him,
didn't
bro.
say
Please,
no.
John, please let me land my
No,
plane.
nobody would have said no.
But hold
Let
on.
me
Here's
land
the
my plane,
Nah,
y'all.
if they
Please
could
let me get a
predict what
minute.
would
Hey
Let me
guys,
land my
happen,
let's
they
join
plane.
could.
fish. Let's join fish. Let's join fish. Let's join fish.
So all I'm saying is, cool. They're not going to say no to that. Before Kyrie and Katie said they were coming here, the Nets were all in on doing this thing organically, and Sean was trying to put the pieces back together. But when you got two fucking juggernauts in the NBA that's up for free agency, you got the cap space, and they said, "Yeah, I want to fucking play for you." You like, oh shit, that's going to expedite the fucking rebuild. So you do it. We took a gamble. The gamble didn't fucking work. Sometimes it doesn't work. Kyrie and Katie got here. I think Katie gave it his all, 110%. He strapped him up. He wanted to play. Kyrie was in and out of trouble. He barely played. James tried to come along for the ride. He saw Kyrie being rogue, and they couldn't stay on the court together, and it just didn't work out, bro. They tried something, it just didn't work out. They
see.
didn't go out there and get Katie and Kyrie. They came here. They chose the
But
Nets.
see, my perspective is different because, like, as many people have animosity towards Kyrie, I have animosity towards KD because I'm like, yo, we paid you for a whole freaking year to rehab and not do anything, and then you turn around and then freaking demand a trade.
Because they don't love the Nets, man. You already know.
No, I'm
We
just
need
It's
Yeah,
not
we need
about
no,
the
somebody
Nets.
I
who's a
agree with
born Nets
LB.
fan, not
I
Kyrie.
agree with LB a bit about KD because I remember we faced Boston. There was a report that came out after the series that KD talked to Mike James. Remember Mike James? And he said like, "Oh, we're not going to win against Boston." Like so the rumors that KD actually gave up in that series, and the way
It's
he
not
kind of got manhandled, that to me is like,
right.
"Damn,
But
KD,
but we
I saw
have to
all
that ain't
understand
sports.
cool."
something though, LBL. Real quick,
I
we
guess
have
What's
to
that?
because we
understand
will
something.
saying there, but
It's not about the Nets. It's about KD just not being a leader, and he runs every time shit gets tough.
That's what I'm saying.
Nothing.
So I don't
It has
respect that.
nothing to do with the Nets.
Matter of fact, Joe,
But when he played in the
step,
playoffs, though, I
I'll
think
even a
that
step
was in his prime, though,
saying,
for the Nets.
Joey,
Yo,
I'll go
That
a step
people
49
further.
points,
the only
that was his prime,
listen,
though.
KD
That
is
Joey,
was his
gonna
let me
blow
prime.
bring
by
it.
and give you 110%. The thing
Let
is,
me let
he
me go
okay. Go
even
ahead.
let me go even a step further and say KD should just retire because you know what? He's just playing. He's averaging his average, right? He's averaging 27. He averaged 27 for like whatever, 15
But he
years,
don't make an impact anymore.
and he's still doing it. And what I'm saying is, man, all you doing is freaking padding stats now. That's all you
Right?
do.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
should retire.
LBL, you know where KD's going this summer? He's going to go play at Wemby, man. If he wants to end his career, he's going to try to do it, get another
So
title.
No,
Man.
but
Just
what
watch
I'm saying is,
this.
LBL,
He
I
just
do
been
Watch
agree.
passed
this.
around, man,
LBL,
like a
I do
blunt.
agree with you on the
KD.
fact that yes, I'm
He'll say, send me,
Damn,
I'm gonna
send me
yo.
back to
hold up.
Texas.
I'm gonna
Yo,
give
I
he
feel
makes
like I don't
no
want to
KD
cut
sense.
anybody
some
off. I'm
blame because
sorry. I don't want
KD is
for a
not
second.
a leader. I will
I'm
give
saying,
you
yo,
that.
don't
But
y'all
This
feel
ain't no
like
I
challenge
will
for.
don't
say
y'all feel
this.
like after the
I will
Nets,
say
man,
this.
like KD just
KD,
been like a
when he was
washed up,
here,
like a
he
passed
played
around guy?
basketball,
I
and
feel
when he
like
was
after the
able to
Nets, yo.
play, he strapped him up and he went out there and gave it 110%.
He was great though. Yo, that 49, nobody could
Yeah,
stop him. Nobody could
Kevin Durant
stop him.
ultimately was one of the
We're
best
talking
Nets
about
players
it.
of all time, man. But there were some inconsistencies with the leadership factor. I'll give you
Nobody's
that, Joey.
talking.
But my thing is this: Sean Marks, when he took over the team, said there'd be no shortcuts. At the three, he took the biggest shortcut of all time, which many of us would have done, right? This year, we're supposed to do this the right way, no shortcuts. We're hearing about Giannis being Plan A. That's my problem. Sean
When did he
Marks is
say
not
there
a
would be
That's
no
a
shortcut?
rumor,
leader
John.
because he only wants to
But
get
that's
the
other
big
people
names
saying
over
always.
that. That's
rumors,
not
though. Why
Sean
we getting
saying
emotional over
That
rumors?
that's not rumors, man. If you
It
check
is a
on different
rumor.
sources,
that. That
this has
is
been going
But
on
rumors.
since
wait,
last summer.
That's
wait,
Last
rumors.
summer.
out of those
That's
three,
rumors.
who would you forgive
Not just
first?
rumors, but it keeps
I feel
happening,
like I
Scott.
would forgive KD, John. Right? I feel like I would forgive him out of the three. Out of the three, I would not those two, but I'd be like, you know what? At least you played, man. At least when you was available, you fucking played, yo. Right? He played and he cared about it, and he was in his
Exactly.
prime. He would be the first guy. I would be like, you know what? I'll put you to the side. You know what I mean? Like,
Listen, I'm gonna give it to KD just based off that Buck series alone. He keep
yeah,
going
that
the
shit was
Bucks
he
by
was
himself.
amazing. He was fucking amazing.
You know the
I'm gonna give
problem
it.
with
Take it back to my. I'm
aging
gonna take it
stars.
back.
They feel like they have to be with aging stars to win
Hold
titles.
on,
Why not be with young stars, help them
hold on,
develop, and then
hold
win
on.
a title? I feel
Take
like
it back.
that's what's wrong with
Okay.
the NBA. These stars just
Yeah,
want to ring
y'all
ride.
think we could have won with what's the name, my old boy Allen and
Well, I'm
Karis
gonna say
LeVert?
this.
Would have
I'm gonna
kept them?
take it back from him because he had some input with freaking Nash, and I would
Oh
not.
my God.
Nah,
And
that was all
remember what
Sean Marks.
happened.
Sean Marks
Oh
thought it made
That
that
was
man.
Sean
Remember
exclusive.
Marks,
what
man.
happened when Kyrie got when they hired Nash. Remember what happened when they hired Nash and Kyrie said, "I feel like we don't got a
We
coach."
don't need a coach.
Listen,
Exactly.
Yeah, he
listen,
meant it
Man,
too.
that
guys.
said
No,
volume.
y'all putting that on KD because KD worked with him in Golden State. That was not KD
Y'all
and
missing the
Kyrie's.
whole point,
Hold on, that
man,
was not KD and
with
Kyrie's
Katie
idea. They
and
just gave the
Kyrie.
thumbs up on it.
No,
Sean
but I'm.
Marks, hold on, Sean Marks hired Steve Nash because that's his buddy. I
But what I'm
credit
saying
Steve.
is
Listen,
that
Sean
was
Marks
a
said
fatal
himself.
move.
Hold on,
Yeah,
let me land
yeah.
the plane. Sean Marks said himself. Steve Nash called me personally and told me he wanted to put his name in the hat for the head coaching job.
That's crazy. That's
And I would have
I
said
can't
insane.
believe we
no.
hired
That's
Nash, man.
insane.
One of Kevin Durant's biggest pet peeves was Nash. We need to train, and
Yeah.
he's like, guys, just shoot the ball around. You're good.
Listen,
Hold
guys,
on. How do you
Steve Nash. Steve,
how do
listen.
you
Let me show
take
you the
two?
ties.
You take two Hall of Fame
Steve Nash
players.
has ties with Cy. They own a soccer team together.
I understand. I know
He's
that.
best
Yeah.
friends with Sean Marks. It has nothing to do with Katie and
And
Kyrie.
he had no coaching experience.
See,
Yes,
and
but
that's
it
the
has.
problem. That front office is run like a frat party. It's not run like a business. Yeah, your best buddies, and they can't do shit right. That's a problem.
For a few games, it did look promising the way everybody played, like at home against the Pelicans when we
That's
blew them
talent.
out.
That's
You remember
talent.
when we blew him out? He was cheering Steve Nash.
Here's the thing.
He did look good though in that game.
Listen,
He did
Sean
look good
Mark,
though.
and I agree with you. Based off of that Steve Nash hire, he should be fired alone. Sean Marks tried to do what Golden State did with Steve Kerr,
Yep.
and tried to put Steve Nash, who was a student driver, in the seat of a Lamborghini.
That's a good comparison. That's a good comparison.
That's what he tried to do. He tried to
Yeah,
put
he
his
took
friend.
he took a new coach. He took somebody that had no coaching experience.
Yeah.
And put
And
him
then we
in the
moved on
driver's
to teaching philosopher Jacques Vaughn with his radical truth.
But
that
there
was
was a
dumb.
lot of things played into a lot of things played into
Jack
it.
Frost.
Yeah, that's
Guys, the
A
team
lot of
felt they
things
had so
played
much
into the
talent. The
Nets.
team felt they had so much talent that
Facts,
they
Joe.
didn't need a coach. So who
No, a
gives
lot
a
of
shit if
things
Steve
played
Nash is
into the
shitty?
Nets' downfall. A lot of things.
You know what's the
You had the
downfall when
pandemic. You had
there was
the
a pro-
pandemic.
there was a problem when Marcus
had
Aldridge had the irregular
Kyrie with his
heartbeat. That was a
standing
problem.
up for the workers.
No.
Those were political issues. There was issues going on. So one thing that for me was the Nets didn't stand up for Kyrie and what he was saying and protecting him.
No, I
They
don't
let
agree.
him
If you're
go
talking
and
about
say
the stuff with the film,
when
that was very
when that
controversial.
reporter pointed out him and his tweet,
So about that Nick guy.
they should have got rid of that reporter.
Listen,
So about
Scott,
Nick
They
Feihan,
should
whatever
have
his name
told that.
was.
Listen,
They
Scott.
should have told that paper, don't send him back.
Listen, Scott, you can't say that when the league
Yeah,
is
but
getting involved.
you
Listen,
you
here's
don't
my
get
thing,
you know
though.
you can get to choose who you want there.
That's cool. Listen to what I'm saying, though. You sitting here trying to save Kyrie, but you can't really save him.
No, I'm not
because-
saying save him.
Listen,
I'm not saying save
listen to what
him.
I'm saying real quick. The league got involved.
Right.
Listen, he did not want to apologize, right? And
Right.
Adam Silver said
But he
himself,
didn't say
"I'ma have-"
anything. That was the
It doesn't
point.
matter. The league got involved, bro.
I
He put
understand
that- he put that Nazi
I
movie
understand
and
that.
shit. He
That's
put
why
that
I
Nazi
said it
movie.
was more to it than just, the friction
Yeah, so what
between
you
the players.
what do you like? What do y'all have like Joe Tsai to do when your boss gets involved?
Well,
and says you gotta
listen,
reel
listen.
in-
It
and says
it's
you
not
gotta
even
reel in
that.
one of your
It
employees.
wasn't even that. It was the issue of them telling when he said, "I can't play." Could you
Crazy.
let other team players come unvaccinated and play in the same place I play at?
Bradley Beal.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
you know the
but
New York
that
City
was- that's not
government
what
is.
That was telling you right
you
there.
know it is.
When the mayor sat back and said,
He fucked that shit
I
up.
know it's not right, but it's,
He's a Knicks
I know it's not
Listen,
right.
do you understand?
Yeah, he's the
Listen,
Hicks lover.
hold on, real
He's the
quick.
Hicks lover.
You gotta understand the context of this shit.
You
right?
got to understand
Listen,
who
hold
was
on,
running the
let me
show.
land the
Who was
plane
running the
real quick.
show?
Listen, I'm gonna elaborate some context for you. The mayor of New York City does not have jurisdiction on other players and other people from
I
other states,
understand that.
other employees from other
I
states.
understand
He doesn't
that.
have that. You
I
get what I'm saying?
understand that.
Kyrie Irving plays for the Brooklyn Nets, right?
But you
Which
can't
is in
say
his-
that it's for the protection of other people when they there.
What I'm saying is he can't do that for other
He
teams.
can,
because
yes, he
don't
can.
got
He can say
jurisdiction over
he can
them.
lift it.
You know, New York always do a reverse
would he-
shit. Fucking weird.
Why
man.
would he?
Remember, it took the Yankees to raise that
Why would he not?
ordinance. Remember, it was the Yankees that said we want to play.
Why would you not lift it for
We could
the
go.
players
Listen, we could go back all day.
work
You saying
that
why
play
wouldn't
here?
he lift it, right? You gonna say why wouldn't he lift it? So other people on the other side of the aisle would say, why didn't Kyrie just get the shot? Kuminga got the shot.
Yeah, but I'm
know
just
what
saying
happened?
he
Hold on,
know
you know
that
what
was
happened when
it
Kuminga
doesn't
got that
matter.
shot?
You got
You know
people
what
there
happened when he
with it.
sacrificed it? Hold on,
but
you know what happened when he
Joey,
sacrificed it?
Joey,
He got that
there's
shot.
no-
He won
Joey.
the NBA
Nah,
championship
Joey.
that
Joey.
same year.
You can't say
Hold on,
that and
Joey.
have people
Hold on.
there that didn't get the shot.
Hold
If
on.
he,
You
but
also
I
can't
feel like
say-
if he got the
Joey,
shot, though, we would have won the championship, though.
If
Joey,
if
hold-
you got
you, Pete.
people there,
Scott, what about this? You had him not playing on the road too.
right?
That
This
was
is
crazy.
a political thing that I'm trying to tell you that was
was
going on.
Okay, he can't
Because
play
they
home games.
Can I answer the question?
Good.
They did that because they didn't want to have him in and out of the lineup. It was
Which was
it was going to
stupid.
create,
Which was
it was
stupid.
going to create problems, bro.
Which
It
was
was going to
stupid.
create
Pass.
problems with continuity. That's why they
You
did
giving
it.
them
That
a
was
pass.
dumb.
You giving them a pass.
You know what the
giving
worst part is?
giving
I-
the
And you know
organization
what? We can agree to
a
disagree because I
pass.
think you're giving Kyrie Irving a pass.
No,
you know what?
no,
You know
it's-
what?
it's
you
a
know
fact.
What? Kyrie Irving had a choice just like everybody else.
No,
and he took
no,
his choice and he
no.
decided not to get the shot.
No, no.
You know
All
what
I'm
the
saying
He did
is,
fucking
if
show
you
it.
got people coming here to play and that don't have the shot, and you telling the players that play here that you must have the shot, that's not right. Even the mayor said that.
No,
But
Scott.
he didn't do anything.
Listen,
He didn't. You know why he didn't do anything?
I
Do
don't
you
know,
know
Scott.
why?
I can't defend Kyrie though. You fucked up.
Listen, the
So I'm
world
not gonna
was
lie.
going
You're
through a
supposed to take
crazy
that
time.
shot,
Let's
man.
remember there were states that wanted to open, there were states that wanted to stay closed. The world was a crazy place at that time. I can't put all that on Kyrie Irving, right? But let's remember this too. The relationship with Kyrie Irving and the Nets was fractured from the previous season when Kyrie started taking personal off days. Let's remember this. He took off
Yo,
for
you
some
took
birthday
mad
parties and
days
stuff.
off. You took
Let's
mad
remember
days
that.
off. That's crazy. He was just
Remember
taking
that.
days off. He didn't give a fuck.
Real quick, hold on, real quick.
Yeah.
You're looking at it as a stand viewpoint. You got to understand, the mayor and them are looking at it from a government viewpoint. They're not looking at it as a Brooklyn Nets fan or a sports fan. Okay, they're going to make a city mandate based off of the people who work in the area that they must get vaccinated, and that's what they did for all workers. So if they say, "Oh yeah, well, Kyrie Irving, you are a city employee, but you
He's
know
not
what?
a city employee.
Hold on, let me finish."
He's not a city employee.
If they say, "Kyrie, you're a city employee, but you're excluded," that opens them up for a lot of legal
But he's
litigation.
not a city employee.
He's not a
so
city
how are you-
employee.
Sure, he is. He works for the Brooklyn Nets.
No,
That's
Brooklyn
fact.
Nets is a
No,
private
Yes,
organization.
I'm not
not a
talking
city
about a
employee,
city government
man.
employee, guys. I'm talking about he works in the jurisdiction of the city of New York.
Right?
He's-
Yeah, he
his
works
taxes-
in the city of New
That's
York. Yes,
a
they
private
have
citizen.
building rights and building laws.
Listen,
That's
he
what
paid
they
New York
use.
taxes, right? When he was here,
That's what they
taxes did he
use.
pay?
They use
What
they
taxes
use the
did Kyrie pay
laws
when he was
for the
here?
building.
I'm saying
But
you
that's
could pay
not
taxes and still be a private versus public employee is two different things.
You're
See, if
mixing
he
it
was
up.
a Muslim, you could have got the religious exemption.
No,
but
dude.
he
Listen,
can't. He's
have
not
an open
Muslim.
mind for a minute.
He's not Muslim.
Let's have an open mind for a minute.
I'm saying if he
The
was
city
if he was a
has the
Muslim,
right
you could have
to
got that
regulate
exemption, man.
the space. The fire department comes in just like the fire department gives you a ticket and say you can't have no more than 600 people here.
Yeah.
It's your place, but you can't have more than 600. It's a fire hazard.
Mm.
They use that as a health hazard. But if it's a health hazard, can't have
terrible
nobody
times,
else
though, for the
that's
Nets.
not
Let's
shot
also remember New York City had some of the
take-
worst cases of the pandemic. Let's
And
remember
this
too.
is how I
why
know
they
this
did
is
it so hard
bullshit.
to.
When they travel, this is how I know it's bullshit. Listen to this. I try to follow the financial thing. When players travel to other cities, they pay city taxes for that city.
Yes.
So when they come here, they under their jurisdiction, they let them play. They let them play.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying they under the rule of the
He's
city
talking about the
of
people
New
who's not
York.
vaccinated. They can come to Brooklyn and play.
Right,
Yeah, okay,
because
so
they paying taxes here.
Let me know. Let me know.
They come in with a check. When they on their check, they got whatever city they play in, they pay taxes to that city.
No,
I didn't know
Yes,
that. No,
yes.
I didn't know that.
They do not.
Yes.
Nah, I don't think
Yes.
so. Are you sure, Scott?
Yes, I'm positive.
They play where their
I'm
team is
positive.
based
I
at. That's
know.
bullshit.
I
Send
heard
me a
Lou
link.
Williams say the same thing.
Send me
So
a
the
source, bro.
teams in Texas, they gotta pay when they
Look,
play in
when
New
you
York.
travel
Why
to
you
other
say-
cities,
hold on, Scott,
when you
Scott,
pay,
Scott,
you get
no,
paid per
Why
game.
you
They
think-
know how much
why
you get
think
paid.
Klay Thompson went to Texas because the taxes was lower. He said it himself.
That's
Stop it.
state tax.
They do not pay taxes. When
I'm
they
telling
travel.
you, yes, they do.
No, they don't.
All right, look
No,
it
they
up.
don't.
Look it up.
That's state
Look it
tax.
up. Look it up.
That's crazy,
Now,
though.
Look
I
it
didn't
up.
know
I'm gonna
that.
say this.
Look it
I'm gonna
up.
say this. I think
Look it up.
We're
Look
confusing
it
the
up.
context, right?
Look it up.
When I say city worker, I'm not saying a fucking city government worker. Okay?
MTA nigga.
Listen, exactly, people. Come on, man. Let's have some common sense here.
Yeah,
I'm
I know
saying
what you.
you're an
I didn't
employee.
know what you meant when you said
I'm
city
saying
worker.
you're an employee who works inside the jurisdiction of New York City. Period. On your fucking pay stub, it says you pay New York taxes. Now, I get what you're saying. It's unfair for other teams, players to come here and not be vaccinated and still get to play. But the thing is, we got to look at it from a government standpoint. The mayor does not have jurisdiction over those
Yes,
players
he
because
does.
no, he
It's
does
his
not.
rules.
They are visitors. He does not. They
Oh,
do
he
not
the
pay
one that
taxes.
put the rule in
They
place.
do
The mayor
not pay
before
taxes in his
him came,
jurisdiction.
before the black
They
guy
pay
came,
taxes based off
is
of
the
their
one that
home,
put that in place.
where their home arena is, where they
So
play
about De
basketball.
Blasio?
This is
Yes,
a
De
fact.
Blasio.
Man,
De
was
Blasio put that in place.
that a wild time too?
De
Yo,
Blasio put that in
Hold on,
place.
hold on, yeah.
yo, Scott. I don't know,
Oh,
cause
I'm
hold on,
I'm
yeah.
telling you
Now,
I'm telling you what I
I'm gonna
know
say this.
because I
Okay,
fellas.
researched
what
it.
you're saying
Hold
is
up,
true.
hold up,
What you're
fellas,
saying
hold up.
is true.
hold on, y'all. Hold on, fellas. Hold on. I just want to say thank you. Hold on. Shout out to John. Shout out to LBL. Shout out to Joey BK all day. Shout out to people. Shout out to Scott. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Claude. Shout out to the whole chat. And again, I'm thanking y'all because as a content creator, this is the toughest season I had to go through. And we
damn,
almost
Breezy.
through it. Hold on. I
We
need
thought that you smoked the L and passed out, yo.
Wait,
nah,
what?
That's
nah,
what I was
Wow,
thinking, yo.
that's
You know, you
wild.
hit that blunt, yo. I already
nah.
know.
No. Shout out to Easy. Shout out to Easy in the chat.
Wow.
I gotta get with Easy, man. I was finna to close out, man, because I gotta
Yeah.
be up early. But
Okay.
yeah, man, shout out
Fun
to Easy.
discussion, guys.
Yeah.
Word. But yeah, I gotta get to the. I spoke on Cooper Flag. We spoke on the draft, and the PCL debates. I ain't get to that. I gotta get to that content. Word. But what else will say is that the PCL debates they happen today. The Elite Eight is 4 more debates that happens today. So I'm gonna do the recap to the next game, which happens at 3 o'clock versus the Raptors, and then you know what I'm saying. That PCL debate battle is like 6 o'clock, 6:30. So I'm gonna watch that. You know what I'm saying. So that being said, I am going to be back. I will be back. Shout to everybody that joined the panel and the
All
chat
right.
tonight.
Good night. Good
Um,
night,
we
everybody.
be
Good night, everybody.
real soon with more content. Good night, you guys.
Thanks, Breezy.
Bet.
Peace.